Hi, hey, welcome. It's me, Joe Dix, the host of this here podcast. This is the first time we've done this, but probably not the first time we should have done this. Just a quick little address here at the top of the show. Several times throughout today's podcast, I make reference to Session, the skateboarding video game, coming out soon on Xbox Game Pass. This is after me reading a developer note that said they were getting the game ready for XGP, which I misinterpreted as Xbox Game Pass. It is, in fact, Xbox Game Preview. I just want to let you know up front that later on you're going to hear me say the game's coming to Xbox Game Pass. You don't have to worry about spending $20 if you don't want to, even though you should, because Session is really good, as you'll hear me talk about this episode. But, yeah. Do I need to say anything else, Matt?
Nah, you're good.
All right. Let the show start. Enjoy episode 318. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye. Hello and welcome to Free Cheese, episode 318. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Marc Augustiniak.
What's up?
Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. We got a show for you today. Fresh hot takes on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta.
My God.
Crossplay.
My God.
The state of Overwatch. Some emails brought to you by the fine folks who emailed podcast@thefreecheese.com yet again.
Right at the top. I like that plug.
Boom! You gotta get the plugs in, Matt.
I know how to.
If you don't put the plugs in, where are they going? They're going out. If they're not out, they're not in. I'll tell you what. Or on.
You gotta hit the ears.
Yeah. You gotta hit the ears. You gotta hit the ears. How are you guys doing?
I escaped Area 51.
Hey,
I'm
congratulations.
Feeling pretty all
Now,
right.
did
Was
you
that
escape?
you? I was
Yeah.
gonna say, did you do the number 2 run? Was that you? Have you confirmed who that person is?
I cannot neither confirm or deny that.
Perfect.
Without my lawyer.
What happened with that? Did anyone get arrested or?
Apparently, like 2 people got detained.
Yes.
As they should, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I mean,
did people
I mean,
actually run like an
let's see.
asshole?
Huh?
Did people actually run? Did they actually do this or no?
Like try and storm it?
Yeah.
I mean, people showed up.
Yeah,
like,
but for the
I
same
thought it
Fire
ended up. I
Festival
thought,
thing.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be like people eating pizza in the fucking desert and like some shitty DJ.
There was a lot of food trucks.
Guy wearing a lot of rings playing bad music.
But you got to think, like, out of a crowd, let's say, like, there's probably, like, maybe 1 to 3 people out of a group of 10
Yeah.
who's going to do something and, like, actually follow through with it for the Lord.
Yeah, but once you're in it though, man, like fucking social pressure, that what do you call that? Peer pressure. There's
Attention?
another one. Yeah.
I don't know. Peer pressure only does so much when I know there's dudes with like M4s on the other side of that fence ready to mow me down.
But you
at a
gotta
moment's
also
notice.
think they can't catch us all, Matt. You know, they can't catch us all.
You got to sacrifice some of them. You know, when I did a zombie run, that's how I survived with 1 flag by the end. I ran with the crowds. I was in the middle of the herd, so they would all get the ticket.
He gets it.
I'm a bad person.
Nah, it's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. Yeah, you got that mob mentality. You get going. You never
Nah.
got stirred up in some shit because
The
you were
only-
just a part of the crowd.
The only time, high school, cafeteria,
Hmm.
1 table started applauding
Hmm.
for no reason, and then it
It
just
just
spread
happens.
so the entire cafeteria was applauding. It
Kids.
got to a point where all the teachers were so upset that they were trying to, anybody who was clapping would get sent to the office.
What the hell's going on?
It's the first day of fall, Matt. Oh! We made it. We did it. We made it out of this bullshit summer. Welcome to the true future of the world.
Matt's eyes are twitching.
No,
It's
no,
fucking 83 and sunny outside. I'm
No.
in shorts, my baseball shirt.
no.
It could be fall. It definitely feels like summer outside.
No.
So we're still happy internally.
We made it. We made it.
I hope this fucking podcast gets flagged for copyright and we get sued.
Oh, it will
I mean,
be.
we're not making money.
It was probably less than 30 seconds, so it's probably all right. You know.
I'm gonna flag it.
We'll be good. But yeah, we made it. Look at that. Here we are. Fall. Mob mentality, you know?
Mob mentality.
I was real mad when I fucking looked at the weather this week and saw that it's just like pushing 90.
September's always August part 2.
I know, and it sucks. Yeah, but there's been a couple days where it's been not August part 2. It's been like
Literally
good
only
part
2
1.
days.
Still,
Yeah, it's been weird.
you got to celebrate those little moments, Mark.
I've been working some late nights and
Oh man, I bet leaving is just
like,
fucking
it's like
badass.
50 degrees. A little culture shock. Wasn't
Good.
expecting it.
I leave in the morning and I'm like, ooh, putting on a flannel. This feels good. Riding with the fucking sunroof open, just nice little breeze hitting you. By the time you get to work, you're like, it is 700 degrees outside.
Yeah.
You're sweating. It's bad. Bad.
Well, debatable, but
Well, this is not a weather podcast. This here is a video game podcast where we talk about video games, and we're going to get right into it because we got a good, healthy chunk of news to hit later on. I played some video games. But first, I'm curious to hear what video games you guys have been playing. Mark?
Kind of light. Played a little bit more Blasphemous.
Did you talk about Blasphemous on the air since the demo? We talked about the demo, but
Oh, I bought the game.
yeah.
And
And
it's way different from the demo.
did you get it on Switch, PC?
Switch. Yeah. It's a really good start to that game.
Does it start where the demo started?
No.
Oh, totally.
It's way different.
good.
It's way different. It's nothing. Demo's nothing like it. It actually does a better job at like explaining.
Great. That was my complaint.
Cool.
Way too many systems thrown at me at that demo.
I mean, like you will run into them, but I don't think it's as clustered.
Oh, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it was just, you were kind of thrown into it.
Yeah.
It was like a vertical slice, but not at the beginning. It was like, it seemed like a third of the way in.
Yeah. No, this had like a whole cutscene in the beginning, and like it kind of explained where you're starting and like why.
And why.
It's
Okay.
like you start on like a body, like a pile of corpses.
As you should. Yeah, I mean,
So-
isn't that how we all start, you
And
know?
you have like the tutorial like boss fight and whatnot. So
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, it's
You're supposed to lose, I'm assuming, right?
no,
Oh.
no, it's actually
Different spin from software game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
it's actually easy.
I almost beat that werewolf in the bare hands at one time.
Dude.
Not the first time.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
In Bloodborne? Yeah,
I
was
feel like I
like,
almost did too.
I got up to him, and then I was like, oh shit, okay, all right. And I'm just swinging fists, and I died eventually, but then I kept dying not knowing you had to pick up his weapon on the stairs. Like, I think I played that game for 3 hours without a weapon.
Like that first werewolf in the house.
Yeah.
Like I got lucky with it because he was not moving. He was like a bug. Like he was stuck like
Oh,
behind a
yeah, you
table.
did
So I was
get
just like,
lucky.
I'm just gonna keep slapping you, and then that somehow moved him out of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
You aggroed him.
Yeah, pissed him off. No, but yeah, Blasphemous, it's nice. Combat feels maybe a teeny bit more smoother. It's not much different from the demo,
Yeah.
control wise. But everything feels more fluent. Got to the first town, and apparently there's something going on there. There's like some kind of like sickness where they believe constantly kissing the sick will make them feel better, or at least mentally kind of like distract them or
Kind of
something.
disturbed in
It'll
a
make
way.
the sick feel better, or it'll make them feel better? Better.
I think along with the medicine, they genuinely believe that like constantly kissing them will help.
Heal them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so that's like the first town you're into, and then like there's like 4 different ways you could branch off and explore those paths and kind of just Metroidvania it from there,
That's
basically. Because like some places are going to be locked off until you get certain skills or whatever and whatnot. And, you know,
So they do the Metroidvania thing of like, oh, can't do that because you don't have a double
Yep,
jump.
and you know,
If only I
and,
could reach a little higher.
yeah, and like you have the map, so you can see where you have been versus where you haven't.
How is
and
the map? Is that like a...
very Castlevania?
Okay.
You know, white frame,
Yeah.
red
All right.
blocks to tell you what's locked.
Save
or
rooms.
whatever.
Blue
Shit, yeah.
background.
Each section is colored.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So you have a yellow section, a purple section,
A little
and
Hollow
blue.
Knight style.
Is that what they did? Yeah.
I wonder if I should. All right, I should. Fuck.
Well, Hollow Knight.
No.
Oh.
I'm good on Hollow Knight.
I was gonna say you had this internal debate for the last 2 years.
I
Just fucking
did.
not play the game or play the game. Pick one.
I get into it for a good spell. I get stuck on a boss, and then I'm like, fuck this game. I think I'm close to the end though. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll beat it one day.
But it's a good game. I haven't had like the drive with it though. I think I've just been kind of like that with everything lately though.
Yeah, no, me too.
So, but from what I played, I do like it. I do recommend it.
Yeah.
If anybody's out there, if they're like, well, it's blasphemous, and it's like, seriously, like, I know everybody uses Dark Souls as a description, but this is seriously a 2D Dark Souls. Like, if you gave Dark Souls the Metroidvania or Castlevania treatment, where you have a skill tree, you're platforming, whatever, but add a Dark Souls element to it. And it's the setting, the theme, it's all like Roman Catholic, heavily inspired
stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
In motion, how's it look? Because like the still frames of that game are just fucking mesmerizing. You just get lost in that art. But
oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
scenery's like everything looks like a death metal album cover.
Yeah. All right.
Did you play Bloodstained earlier in the year?
Only
You played the 8-bit one.
Yes.
Not that. Yeah.
I haven't played. No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on Game Pass now though.
It is. Yeah. So you should check it out. I gotta beat Bloodstained still, but yeah.
Curious to see that because that's the two games like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I gotta beat
Bloodstained. See that
Bloodstained.
comparison.
I gotta get Blasphemous. I'm sure, but yeah.
And then from there, I got to dive into Link's Awakening.
The Game Boy one or that new weirdo Switch one for weirdos?
The new weirdo Switch one for weirdos,
yeah.
man. You know.
Yeah. The Christmas movie Link's Awakening. I think it looks really good. I'm like joking around here, acting like it. No, this game looks fucking cool.
It just looks like a bunch of toys, and I like that. It's really charming.
Remember when everyone hated the Wind Waker aesthetic, and then that is like
just commonplace, like
yeah, and it's also critically acclaimed, like one of the best Zeldas.
Yeah,
so that's very true. Yeah, because like just about every Zelda game has its own visual style. It's not often is it consecutive. Unless it's the Game Boy Zeldas, Link's Awakening, because the Oracle games use the same assets, which that makes sense.
Let's get until Breath of the Wild 2, which you'll get in 4 years, but you got that video clip, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's going to take a bit.
No, it's not. Next year, 2020.
So I never played, like...
Metroid Prime 4, remember what happened there?
Continue, Mark.
Ooh. Yeah, so, like, OG Link's Awakening for Game Boy... I have the director's cut. I have the physical cartridge. I have the 3DS downloaded version, whatever. But I've never beaten it. I've never really played a lot of it. And for some reason, that game, for some reason, I guess it's really easy to know where to go. It's a very dry cut game. It's not.
See, I was at the opposite effect with Link's Awakening. Like anytime I've tried to play that game,
me. I suck navigating.
Yeah, no, okay.
I don't know why though. I feel like I shouldn't have. But I did.
Okay, we're saying the same thing. That it's hard to get around. You feel lost in that game. I never know which.
It's like after the second dungeon, I didn't know what to do.
I don't even know if I made it to the second dungeon.
But this game fixes all that.
How?
So, you have a map, and you're able to zoom in on it and put markers down. In case if you need to go somewhere, if you're doing like a whole like trade quest, you know where to go and whatever. There's also a map in the library that shows the full place instead of not just what you explored, and it has the names for everything, but it's all in like sepia color.
Okay.
But in case you want to memorize the names of everything, I'm like, all right, cool. Not only that, it keeps track of all your heart pieces. It keeps track of any secret shells that you find. And it keeps track of your memories.
What are memories?
So memories are just pretty much the progress throughout your game whenever you're talking to main characters. And they say something important that's a key item in their text that's like highlighted a different color to know like where to go and what to do. You can go back and reread them. So in case you're lost and you haven't played this in a while and come back, you go back to those memories and you're like, oh yeah, that's where I go. And so like it will repeat the same dialogue and you'll hear the character's voice and everything. And it's not like fully voiced, but you're like
yeah, right.
I'm like, oh okay, yeah, that's what the owl said. I have to go over to this area. Such a fucking improvement. Oh my god. But yeah, it has like a Breath of the Wild-ish UI to that. Like, you know, if you like pause Breath of the Wild and you go to like save a game and it shows like a drawing of the Switch and like little lines come off.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Well, I like that.
It's very clean.
Yeah, that's how the Mario Odyssey one. A lot of their first party stuff has that just clean approach to the UI in there, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and then now, because Game Boy game, obviously 2 buttons. So if you want to use other items, you had to keep constantly switching your sword and shield for other items.
That was the worst. Yeah, because I played one of those Oracle games earlier this year on 3DS and just jumping through like, oh, fuck, I need to move this rock, so I have to go back and maybe it's
you're
just
like pausing mid boss fight, like switch real quick. Well, now you have a dedicated sword button. And now you have the 2 extra face buttons, so that's your other items. R is your shield.
Okay, cool.
And you can walk around while holding it forward in case you need to like push stuff or whatever. And you can attack while blocking.
Nice.
I don't have it yet, but L would be your dash, kind of like the Pegasus boots or Pegasus Seeds or something.
Or feathers jump.
Rock's feathers jump. Yeah. Kind of like Link to the Past, where you just kind of charge the place.
Yeah.
It's that.
Oh, cool.
So that's its own dedicated button. That's cool too. Trying to think what other differences they did, but whenever you move, you can't move with the D-pad. It's joystick only.
Okay.
I guess the D-pad is for something else. I'm not sure, but you can move in all directions. But if you're blocking, you can't strafe. Like, you can't stay. Like, if you're blocking right,
you can't.
and you want to move around up and down and all that,
you're always going to be facing right.
You're going to be moving in the direction you're facing. Like,
that's classic Zelda style.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone looks for that kind of stuff, but that's just what pointed out to me. It's not a big deal though.
That'd be a little OP. What's keeping you from just keeping your shield out?
Right,
you can turn.
Yeah, I guess because 3D Zeldas or something, you can always do that. You can always stay facing them and move around.
Right.
But yeah, this game isn't really about combat. It's
classic
it's more Zelda. It's more about the exploring,
puzzles and adventure,
and the puzzles exactly.
How are the puzzles? So we had a question recently from a listener asking about why you didn't like Breath of the Wild. Thank you,
Mary Claire.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was gonna just say Claire, and then I was like, I know there's something in front of it.
There is.
Thank you. And a big part of that was like the departure from the series. Obviously this is a remake of something very rooted in this series, but do you feel good about where it's at?
Yeah. I didn't get to play all these dungeons, but I know they're all themed a little differently. So, kind of breaks up the monotony. It's just classic Zelda. At the time Link's Awakening was made, there were only 2 other Zeldas were made. I don't know if this came out before or after Link to the Past.
After. Because this was originally meant to be
It was after
Game
for
Boy.
us. I think it was before for Japan.
No, it was because this
was it after for that too?
This was meant to be the programmers were moonlighting. I forget which one it was, who it was, but they were moonlighting.
It was supposed to be like a sequel or something.
Trying to port Link to the Past to the Game Boy. Okay. And in the process started putting in like just dummy assets that they had from other games. So that's why you have chain chomps and weird shit in this game, because it was all meant to be like just a dumb side project that would later get fleshed out. And then they started to like toy with the story and concept a little bit.
Right, yeah.
This game in particular, heavily inspired by Twin Peaks, because they were all big fans of Twin Peaks while making this. So all of the weird characters and stuff that you start to interact with, they would later go into influence stuff like Ocarina of Time and whatever else.
Yeah.
All was born out of like an infatuation with Twin Peaks having strange esoteric characters.
And it tells you in the very beginning. That's also what I love about it. Like, this is all in a dream world.
Yeah,
or
you
land.
just see that big portrait of Notorious B.I.G. slowly pan all digitized like a Game Boy printer image.
Well, was it Word Up magazine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Link was reading.
Yeah. It was all a dream.
Salt and Pepper and Heavy D. Yeah.
He didn't make it into Madden, so I don't think he's going to make it into.
Yeah. No, but I like it tells you right up front instead of that being like the twist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's like no, like the whole point in the game is to wake up the windfish, and the enemies or the monsters know that you're going to do that. That's why they're attacking.
That's a cool story beat for it then.
Right, but like anything else, you don't know anything else aside from that.
Yeah.
So like I don't even know, honestly. I don't know if there's like an actual like final boss, like a Ganon equivalent or not. I don't think there is, but I know there is one like cameo boss from Mario. If we're speaking of those assets.
Yeah.
Is he King Wart or is it just Wart?
Oh, I don't know, but yeah.
From Mario 2?
Yeah.
And what Mario 2 for us was a dream.
Right.
It all takes place in Mario's head.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're in a dream world fighting and then Wart is in it, it's just I like how they try to they went with
all of the Nintendo characters have a shared dream universe.
Yes.
And then there's like a Kirby like character in there too. They showed him in the trailers and like he can like suck you up. But it looks like old Game Boy Kirby.
That's cool.
So it's like,
he's gray.
Dreamland. Well, I mean, he's like more flesh color, but like the way his eyes are drawn and everything is very like old 90s style.
That's cool.
So it's like I like they had dummy assets, but then they really leaned in with it. And it's like, oh yeah, these are
because you get a Chain Chomp as your little buddy to like.
Yeah. And that Chain Chomp has a little sister or a daughter who just wants. Yeah, there's like a little house.
It's a weird
you
game,
go in
man.
there.
Well, just how does the daughter get made?
I don't know.
That's a question for Tezuka, not me. I don't know how to.
But I mean, she's part of the trade quest because she's like, I just like dressing up. I like accessories. Like I want like anything. I just whatever. And then you go find there's like I think it's the claw game, the crane game that you can play.
Mm-hmm.
You get like the Yoshi plush and whatever. That like always new items appear there. That game's tough. I mean, I like it.
But can't you just rob that place?
The shop you can.
Okay.
You can just grab an item. You can just bring it to the cashier. You can just walk out with it.
Yeah.
But if you go back in, he will kill you.
Yeah.
He'll just fucking zap you with lightning, and you're dead.
Make it worth it,
No, but the
it's
claw
a good
machine.
run.
Probably a
the speed.
Nintendo achievement for that, right?
Oh, well. No, there's a tactic like that for speedrunners that they like, okay, we got to get item steal because it saves 50 frames,
But yeah, you get a bow, and then the whole trade quest keeps going.
So speaking of the dungeon design, have you had the opportunity to experiment with that feature that I know they talked about in Treehouse, like the dungeon designer?
Yeah, it's like
Kinda,
dungeon maker.
Sorta.
So I didn't get that far. I didn't have enough time to get to all that.
Okay.
I just made it to the first dungeon. I didn't like go in it.
Okay.
So I'm right at the entrance.
Yeah.
So I feel like after I do that is when they probably will talk about, because they didn't bring that feature up at all yet. So I feel like that's how they're gonna introduce it, is after you do that.
How far in are you, like hours wise?
Maybe like 1, because I was I was dicking around with exploring. I was fishing.
Nice.
Got the bottle at the bottom.
Got your magic carp.
Yeah.
Is it a bottle like a Zelda bottle, or
yeah.
like now you have that to put shit inside of and catch a Poe?
But you have to be careful, because if a fish notices you're real, he's gonna bite it, and you have to try again to get the bottle. But but I have different lures for different kinds of fish.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean that was cool. Yeah, I was just exploring, just talking, interacting with everything that I could, and now I just finally made it to the dungeon. But yeah, I really like it. I know there's a concern with like the frame dipping. I hope that can get patched or something, because I don't see why a game like that would stutter like that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, very charming. Everything just looks like a freaking little miniature like diorama set, and so that plays close to my heart. It's very heartwarming.
I'm excited. I think that's gonna be got a big flight coming up. I think it's gonna be my flight game. So.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good flight game for sure.
Yeah. Anything else this week?
I don't. What, the golf?
Oh yeah. So all the Apple Arcade stuff started dropping.
I didn't know if we were gonna wait for that or what.
No.
That's
That's
the only thing
I didn't play any of it.
That's the only thing I touched.
What did you think of what the golf? So the Apple Arcade stuff is out now. It's $5 for $4.99 for 1 month, but there's a 1 month free trial. And yeah, I mean, you just go to the App Store, go to the arcade tab, find a game you want, click get, and it's yours.
You know what's weird about that trial? Like with some trials, it's like they usually want to charge you right afterwards, right? To keep a subscription going, obviously.
Sure.
But if you cancel the subscription before the trial's over, they'll let you ring out the trial.
Yeah.
This will not do that.
You have to.
Like because I was gonna try to do that. They're like, oh, you wanna stop? You can't do this trial anymore if you want to stop.
Oh, that is weird.
I was like, oh, okay. playing my hand here.
Yeah, that's weird because Apple lets you do that with all its other services. Like,
Yeah.
you can't cancel Apple Music. It will let you have that trial or whatever until the end. Weird. All right, well.
But What the Golf? That's a really funny game.
Yeah, it reminded me very much of the Hap Inc. sense of humor.
Yes. And they do a good job of introducing what that game is and what to expect, and just in the first 5 minutes, because once you realize that okay, you're moving a ball, you kind of you have a pool meter and you're just kind of going around, and then all of a sudden you see a golfer.
Right.
Oh, let me try this again. And you pull back,
and
then
the
you're
golfer
launching
goes
the
flying
dude
instead of the ball.
Ragdoll style. And I love the words that pop up every time you hit the hole in one or the goal post.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's got a really good sense of humor.
Then it started I put maybe half hour into this.
Yeah.
And it said I was 17% done.
Oh wow.
I was like, holy shit. There's a lot to this game.
Yeah.
And in order for me to make any more progress, this little bird was like, yo dude, you need about I think it was 5 crowns or 3 crowns. So once you beat a level, there's an alternate version of it, and then I don't know if beating them both gives you the crown or if getting a near perfect run of the level will give you the crown. I don't know how to get the crowns, but it seems challenging. And at that time I was like, you know what? I don't want to backtrack. I don't feel like doing this. This is fun, but I am not ready for that. And then I just kind of stopped. But I do love it. I think it's totally worth playing. I mean, I think anybody else would enjoy it and get further than I did, for sure. But that was just me in my state.
I played that one for a little bit. Matt, have you touched any
Nope.
no Apple Arcade games yet? I'm going to run down the ones I've dicked around with. I'll give you a brief synopsis and a thumbs up, thumbs down. How's that sound?
Great.
Cool.
Assemble. I don't know if that's the full title. But it's from the developer Us2 Games. They're the folks behind Monument Valley 1 and 2.
Okay.
You play as a girl who's good at fixing stuff. And it's all touch-based interactions where you're fixing stuff for people. So she goes on some trip to somewhere, some country, I forget, because I was scrubbing through the text really quickly. Mm-hmm. And a little girl's radio is broken. So you have to take the radio and turn it over, grab a screwdriver and unscrew it. And it's all the way that you interact, where you're dragging the screwdriver across the screen over top of it to spin your finger to unscrew, and then you get little stories about people. It's little interactions with characters. And
that's cool.
It was nice. I really like the aesthetic
charming
of that game. It just looks good, sounds good, feels good.
Yeah, Monument Valley looked really good too. So
yeah. Card of Darkness is from Zach Gage, who previously did Really Bad Chess and something else. He's done some good stuff.
Cool.
He teamed up with Pendleton Ward.
Oh.
And made a roguelike card dungeon crawler. So it's basically a 4x4 grid. I might be wrong about the number there. There's a stack of cards. You tap on the stack, and it might be a sword.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick up the sword. You have an enemy. You hit the enemy. And it's kind of like if you have a 6 and the enemy's a 4, you win. If you have a 4 and the enemy's a 6, you take 2 hits, and you still win, but you take 2 damage.
Okay.
There's potions you find throughout, and then the part where it gets tricky is if the enemy is an odd number and you have an even number weapon, then your sword will break. They'll die, but your thing will break.
Okay, so there's always a cost with all of it.
Yes. And it's all about just trying to get along a path to the next thing. It was pretty fun. I like that.
I wonder how much Card Wars inspired that.
You can see and smell some of that stuff for sure. Choo Choo Rocket Universe, I think is what it's called.
I have it downloaded, but I haven't
I did the first couple puzzles. I don't know how I feel yet. This was me at 11 o'clock the first night it all kind of rolled out, just sitting there playing it and just poking through all of them.
Mine was me at work.
It's
just okay, oops, time went by.
I got a Marc game called The Pinball Wizard, where you play pinball, but you are a wizard. So it's a little wizard in a dungeon space.
I mean, yeah, that sounds
right?
like it already. It reminds me of the game Wizorb.
Yeah. It's...
what was that pinball game that had the song Pinball Wizard? in it, in the background.
I don't
It
know.
was on PlayStation. You had it.
I forget the table.
The good one. No, it was just like the menu music.
Oh. Pinball Arcade?
It might have been.
I mean, that is the good pinball game.
Yeah, I think it was that.
But that one's pretty cool. It seems like that is a roguelike where you are going to earn power-ups for your character. So you might get a thing where like he can boost through the...
I want to compare that to Creature in the Well.
I liked playing this a lot better than Creature in the Well. I did
Really?
not like playing Creature in the Well.
Interesting.
This felt like it had more of an objective and less of, just bash it until the lights go away. Because that's all I felt like with Creature in the Well. This felt like the bumpers are releasing enemies you have to actually fight. Like there was stuff to do in interactivity. You had to find a key to get through each door. Yeah, it's cool. Frogger Toy Time, I think is the full title.
I just saw a whole one.
I'm just looking at a screenshot here. It's just Frogger TT.
Frogger in Toy Town.
Frogger in Toy Town. New hot joint from Konami, those folks who are pretending to make video games again. This was developed by Q Games, so you think your Star Fox, think your Pixel Junk, etc. Uh-oh, that sounded weird. I think we're all still live. It is Frogger, and it's...
Is he a toy?
You're kind of like... everything looks toy-like. So the first few stages, like you're going through like a fucking little room with blocks and stuff like that. It's good. I like that it's objective-based in a way. Like you have to go through and try and save little frogs or collect so many things like along the path. That. What I don't like about it is it breaks the classic Frogger rule of being on a fucking grid. So you hop and you're like off a little bit. Like you're not really snapping to... You are snapping, but not... It feels like you're going a block and a half each jump instead of it being a block. Or...
Got it.
It feels like it's pressure sensitive even if it's not.
It looks fun.
It's fun. I mean, like, I've been playing a few levels of it. I'm not mad at it.
It looks like something that would exist on the 64.
Yeah.
I get those vibes.
Yeah. Exit the Gungeon, sequel to Enter the Gungeon. It's vertical climbing to escape the dungeon.
It's opposite of Downwell.
Yeah. Yeah. Still bullet hell stuff. If you liked Enter the Gungeon, it's still the same kind of grab a gun. Like your gun changes every time. Like you have like a countdown of like 15 seconds or something where your gun just changes to the next thing, and that can be a little disorienting, but kind of works. Sayonara Wild Hearts is really pretty. This is from Simogo.
I want to play that.
They're the folks that made Year Walk and Device 6. And there's another one that was really good.
I like Device 6 a lot.
Yeah.
That was clever.
This is really pretty. I really like the music, but I don't feel like I'm actually controlling it. Like
now, how are you playing all this? Are you hand on screen or are you using a controller?
The following game I'm about to talk about was the one that I played predominantly with my fingies.
Okay.
And by fingies, I do mean my hands. But I went back. I played all of these with controller.
Okay. Because for anybody, I did want to golf with my hands, obviously.
Yeah. Now, that's to say, I did all of these that would allow me to use a controller. That was one of the weird things is these are all meant to work on iOS, iPadOS, and then macOS, as well as Apple TV.
Okay.
And the macOS stuff, like there's some stuff in here where, like Assemble, for example, no controller support.
Oh.
So I assume on Mac, you're just going to have to use a mouse to do a lot of the interactivity stuff, but no controller there. But yeah, like even with Sayonara Wild Hearts, like that felt better. I tried it both. It felt better with a controller, but I still felt like I would push to the right and I'd go all the way to the right lane. Like, I don't know.
Oh, so you would try both with each game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them I just did with a controller, but this one I was like, oh, what feels better? And it felt better to me with a controller, but I still like the point of this is like it's kind of like a Amplitude or something where you're kind of on this road and you're collecting hearts as music plays.
Oh, okay. Is it like a rhythm game?
No, and that's the part that I kind of was disappointed with is like something like Amplitude, like you're building the song as you're playing it, where this was more you're just kind of getting hearts and they're making noises that kind of go in beat, but you're not really building to the song per se.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sounds cool.
2 more. So Skate City is kind of skate controls, but more simplified. So if you're playing touch controls, push up on the right stick to do an ollie, push diagonally up left on the left stick to do a kickflip. Like you're just kind of flicking in different directions to do that.
Okay.
With a controller, your analog sticks just kind of do those tricks, and then you can snap to a rail pretty easily to grind. I think that it's pretty good for something on the go. The menus aren't great, and I feel like some of the stuff is going to be just with time spent with the game. Like the little challenges where you get money to buy upgrades or buy shirts or whatever, those are all like, do us something out front of the library. And it's like, well, I don't know where the fucking library is. So I think you just kind of have to play it a little bit more to get to know where things are.
Yeah.
And then the other one I'll talk about just because I was really sad and disappointed was Sonic Racing, I think is what they call it on this.
Aren't you always sad and disappointed by Sonic, though?
That is, so here's the thing. Before Apple Arcade launched this week, I was spending some time with the greatest kart racer of all time called Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. As you know, playing it on PC, just working my way through. And that game still, 7 years later, is just so fucking good. So good. Mm-hmm. Celebrates Sega in a big way. Just the general feel of all of it.
Danica Patrick.
So good. Really, really, truly a great kart racing game.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of how disappointing Team Sonic Racing was this year. That released, which it was cool, but just didn't grab it the same way that
has some cool mechanics to it.
Cool mechanics, like I like the team part of that, but But I remember when Apple Arcade was announced, Sonic Racing, the same ass stuff from this year, and I was like, well, that's cool. I would play that on my phone. Why not? Like if it's the same stuff I've been playing on my Switch, like that's cool. It's not. Same levels, same idea of like you have a team, but there's not the kind of like boosting your team mechanics that are at least pronounced in the same way. I play with a controller. The menu, so the game is only vertical orientation for Sonic Racing.
Oh.
Playing with a controller didn't mean that I was actually using the controller to get through the menus. Like it's not like snapping to items. It's just putting a kind of a transparent cursor that you're moving with the analog stick.
I hate that. I hate that in games. Oh my god.
And then playing it, like it was not responsive. And now this one was the only one I noticed this. I had AirPods in and using an Xbox controller pair with my phone. I would collect rings and I would hear the sound of me collecting rings a little bit later. Like there was a noticeable audio delay.
I feel like the vertical is the red flag. That's like the first sign.
It's like
how do you play a racing game not horizontally?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess Mario Kart might change that.
I'm curious to see how that one shakes out.
I mean, it depends on the track. I mean, when like the endless runners, it makes sense.
It honestly
But
didn't.
I just figured if you were to play without a controller, I assume you'd be doing this.
So, yeah,
You're just kind of horizontally steering it.
I don't think that it's inherently bad that way. Like it did kind of work. It was just kind of jarring because I was expecting, okay, I got my controller set up. Oh wait, okay, it's just vertical. But it just felt slow and weird and off a little bit. It didn't have.
Yeah, Sonic shouldn't be that.
No,
it should be the opposite.
So that was that. But yeah, I downloaded a bunch more. I'm really excited about.
One little thing, Assemble with Care.
Assemble with Care. Thank you. I
Name
knew there was another name to it. But yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. So I'm curious about those things.
Yeah, the reason why I haven't hopped into it is because I've been busy with a regular old App Store game.
Yes?
Fucking Konami Pixel Puzzle, man.
Yes! Yes!
Wow.
It's so good.
I told you.
I dropped off.
It's just...
Those games just don't hold my attention long enough.
It's just a bedtime game or the idle game, you know what I mean? Like you just...
Toilet game.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
Eating lunch. Might as well knock out a puzzle real quick.
So I was a little bit concerned. I could have like played a shit ton more, but I kind of thought about it. I knew I was getting a new phone this week.
Yeah.
So I was concerned about my progress transfer in. So I tried on my iPad. And it didn't transfer. Like, oh boy, I'll keep playing, but I'm not gonna go as fast as I was. Everything transferred.
What, between
phone to phone?
Oh, phone to phone. Yeah. Yeah, because I was jumping between phone and iPad, and they weren't carrying the same thing. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to commit to iPad, because I like doing it with a pencil. Because I love those games on...
you know what? That probably would have been way more enjoyable.
I got used to it on phone. It's not ideal, but it's fine.
Yeah. No, but I like... I always liked playing them on 3DS with stylus and everything. So yeah, and you never played any Picross games,
No.
right? So that's a whole new world. You gotta, dude. I mean, you could
I
spend
got the library now.
you could spend a couple bucks and just have a hell of a time on your Switch. There are so many. Jupiter's still making good Picross games.
There's a Zelda one on 3DS.
So I'm about to
That was a good one.
be a flying boy too. I'm thinking like maybe I just pick cross. My concern is with I don't necessarily do well with reading, so I don't know. Me staring at the numbers and the grid would start to get me like little
Focus on the
little sickness.
pictures. You know, that's the. I know. They're there for 2 seconds. You're like, oh, okay, got it.
Oh, there's a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's amazing.
And just like a weird, quiet gem that slipped out that no one asked for, no one thought was coming. Just like, okay, Konami's making video games, I suppose.
Yeah, then I try to make sure I play like with the sound one, because when you get a good jam, you get a good jam.
I forget to play with the sound because usually I play it like before. Why does that keep
I
happening?
don't know. So,
Usually it keeps. I play it right before bed, so I forget to like flip the sound on. Konami Pixel Puzzle Pixel. Konami Puzzle Pixel. Whatever that one. You can find it.
Pixel puzzle.
Pixel Puzzle. Download it, know it, love it. That's what I say. Matt, what else did you get into besides the old Picross adventures?
Revealed my hand last week. Continued on with. I only got to play one more chapter, but that a good old Alan Wake.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, game's good.
I know.
That game's real fucking good. I played chapter 3. I was a little taken back because, well, I know like the first chapter was the intro chapter, so I knew that was going to be shorter than the others. But then chapter 2 seemed to be like an hour and a half or so. Chapter 3 seemed like 2.5, like seemed like long, and there was definitely an opportunity to cut the chapter. So I don't know. I felt like the pacing was a little bit off there. But besides that, I love this game.
Do you listen to the radio? Like whenever they're talking, do you like wait till the end of it?
No, I know the radio. It seems to have like this constant flow. I've been finding the radios and turning them on. I've been kind of just going through the game. I haven't been stopping to listen and read everything. I do watch all the Alan Wake TV appearances because I feel like that's going to be.
Do you also watch
critical.
do you watch the Twilight Zone stuff?
No.
Oh man,
I'm just trying to get through the game.
Oh no, you're gonna. That's like
all part of it.
I mean, it's not necessarily essential, but it kind of adds to like that Threshold Kids kind of thing.
Yeah,
not on the same level. Threshold Kids is way creepier.
I think.
Well, but there's some other spoilers of playing Control. There's some supplementary stuff in Control that I feel like those fucking doctor videos. If you were skipping those, I feel like that might. I haven't played Alan Wake, but I feel like that's the kind of equivalent.
So I should probably go back and watch them. Are they like collectible? Like once you watch it, you can see it. Because in Control, they do a nice job of that.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Maybe I'll just.
I'm sure there's a
YouTube
YouTube video.
Yeah. But then also like there's just a lot of manuscript pages, so I'm like not reading all of them.
He's a writer.
It's a lot.
Yeah, look at that.
That's just a lot. So I'm like, I know like I was just talking about. I'm one of those people that doesn't read every piece of literature I pick up. Control did otherwise for me. This game, I'm like, all right, we're going back to regular habits here.
Yeah.
But no, the Alan Wake TV stuff is like really the only thing because I feel like that's probably really pivotal, and it's popping up in very specific scenarios. So
you're right. You're right.
But yeah, I like the combat. The combat is still evolving. I found like new enemy type, but it's not an enemy. It's just an object that's getting thrown around.
Yeah, it's very Stephen King.
Yeah. So you got a lot of like just steel beams and crates and all this bullshit just being thrown at you now that you have to still do the light, just the light thing.
Like shining the light feels good when you like get like once you hold it long enough, it does that like that. Whatever, and it's like, yes, I'll fucking shoot you now.
I'm playing on normal, and at first, like I was very stingy with the amount of light. Like I tried to like dodge and do the passive flashlight burn. Dude, now I'm just like, I got fucking Energizer batteries out the ass, pop them in. Doom, doom.
So, is that the only light source you've come across?
Yeah, the flashlight's the only passive one, but I've, of course, run into flare guns now.
Okay.
Flare guns are awesome. Flash grenades.
Yep.
I love that flash grenade is like a deadly weapon in this game. It's so good.
Oh, I don't know what chapter it is. I don't want to spoil it, but there's one part where it's just like, Never mind. I feel like you would have brought it up by now if you ran into it. But there's one part I really like in that game.
Yeah. The one
Good
thing.
Music.
Yeah. Just bringing you into that world is really good. The music at the end of like the chapters, that reminded me a lot of Quantum Break, because Quantum Break did that.
So, the music for that game is from Poets of the Fall. They do music for Control, and they did music for Max Payne. So like that band and Sam Lake are like they're buddies.
It's so weird, kind of going back and forth, like with the Remedy games here, because I played Quantum Break. Well, I guess Max Payne was my first Remedy game, but then I did Quantum Break, then Control. Now I'm going back to Alan Wake. I'm like stitching together. Like I can see all the bridges in their tech and their storytelling and all that.
Yeah.
Like Alan Wake definitely has that Max Payne storytelling that it goes into Control, but is not as Max Payne-y as before.
It seems like Max Payne was like kind of like set the way of what they want to do with their games, but then Alan Wake took that and like enhanced the DNA, and then that DNA split off into Quantum Break, into Control, because it actually has a TV show on Xbox. You could watch Bright Falls. It was a prequel to all of it. It wasn't about Alan Wake, but he was in the background, and it would just show you that town. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it was all live action, so I was like, that's really cool.
And then there was there's a point in the chapter I played where you can like, there's this long yard. I think it was like a lumberjack mill or something like that. But there's this long yard, and it was encouraged to kind of drive to like turn on the power source or turn off the power source, so you can go walk up these stairs that were like up. There was a down like power line, and it would electrocute you, so you had to turn it off. There's a part, it's this open field, and it's like tons of like apparitions or whatever they are, people consumed by darkness. But you just get in a car and use the lights of the car to just mow them down. It felt so good. And then the shit started flying at you, and you're like, God damn it. Got so much for the fun. Time to do the objective now. But then one last little gripe there is the driving. They should have
not had driving.
Yeah,
I forget how wonky that is. It's been a while.
When you have a game like Halo that is a shooter first, and they do kind of their vehicle stuff kind of second, but it still feels good.
Nothing controls like a warthog.
This did not feel great, and not even like it just is wonky. And then there was one part in Chapter 3 where they had me drive from location to location, and I was expecting like an enemy or like maybe like a mini boss fight or something. But it was in the middle of the day, and I was just driving to point A to point B. And I was like, this could have been a cutscene or a loading screen. And it was weird because it wasn't just like a driving and have Alan monologue to me or whatever. I was like going through these little gaps in the road. Like there was obstacles for no reason. That was really weird. But besides that, I'm just hoping that was like a one-time thing.
I don't think it happens a lot. I don't think there's a lot of driving.
Like I don't mind. I kind of get the idea of like driving at night.
Yeah.
And like having some things kind of down because of that force that's kind of going around you, knocking trees and limbs down and shit like that. So like I kind of get the drive in there. It doesn't feel great, but it's fine. Like it gets the job done. But if I don't need to be in the car, I'd rather not be in the car. That's it. This game's really good. I'm gonna keep kind of go. My pacing towards that has kind of tuned down a little bit. I've just been kind of busy all this week, but I think I'm just gonna kind of pluck away a chapter a night or so until I beat it. Are Chapter 7 the additional chapters that were added after the game? Are they like crucial, or maybe I'll just do a pulse check of where I'm at after I beat the game?
I can't exactly remember what the one is. I think it's just. Wait. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Because they have a standalone game. American Nightmare, right. And it's based on an episode he wrote for that Twilight Zone show.
Okay.
So that one isn't really crucial, but it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Remedy, while you're here, you said last week, it's worth buying, so I bought it.
Seether.
Yeah, wait. Oh.
Yeah, it was Song Remedy.
I remember that band. Man, freaking 2002. Yeah, I started Control. I mean, you've heard Matt talk about it for the last month or so, so I'm not going to sit here and describe what Control is from scratch. But so far, the janitor's pretty cool. Just some weird shit he says. I got a quote here I wrote down that he said, "Burn the trash, burn it all, burn it into a reindeer, not a moose."
I
That's
get
what he
that.
said.
I get that. That was me at my last job.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, makes sense. But speaking of the trash, so I did this little side mission, and I'm in there, and like, where's the fucking trash? Like, there's a little bit of this game that I constantly feel like I'm missing something, or that like, wait, did I not read? Did they tell me where this? What am I missing? Like, I keep getting lost in the middle of a mission where there's not a good like marker of where to go next, or what to do, or like a sense of progression that you're actually. I mean, there's a little bar in the top left, like for burning the trash, but like I sat there with an empty fucking chunk of the bar, and I'm running around looking for this last barrel to throw into this incinerator, and nothing. And then it was there. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait, what? Is this fucking with me? Like, is it all part of the game? Maybe I'm just losing it a little bit. But other than that, I started playing mouse and keyboard, and once I got the dodge, where you're kind of just like, you kind of do like it's like Tracer in a way, right? If you know the little like, on mouse and keyboard, you're hitting control, so you're kind of like, you're reaching down with your fucking left pinky to hit that, unless you have a mouse that has, boundable buttons, but I don't. So that felt kind of weird and like, getting carpal tunnel-y. I am about 5 hours in now. I would say at about like the 3 or 4 hour mark, I just switched to playing with a controller.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you didn't just do a controller the whole time.
I was already on the PC. It just kind of felt right. You know what I mean? But I don't think the shooting in this game is that intensive that you need that precision. And I feel like it works better because on mouse and keyboard, when you're doing the telekinetic stuff, you are like hitting E to pick up a thing and throw it. So that kind of like, that works. But then if you're trying to like walk or sidestep, you're kind of like,
oh yeah,
it brings back like playing guitar where you're like trying to hold on to a certain thing. Like it's bringing back those weird muscles.
Yeah.
And with a controller, your left thumb is doing all of your movement. You're not jumping with multiple fingers. You're fucking telekinetic throwing something as your right bumper, and you've still got your middle finger resting on the trigger to pull the trigger, right? Like you can't shoot while you're holding a thing, but it's cool. And like I was telling Matt last night, there's a cool thing in this game where instead of you constantly feeling overwhelmed or feeling powerless, you just continue to feel stronger the deeper in you get. And there's these enemies that have shields surrounding them. They kind of glow in like orange or whatever. And they have like they have a health bar and a shield bar. And what you feel is, in a typical game, you would see someone with an extra shield and you'd feel a sense of dread. Like, oh, fuck. In this, through experience, that picking up something and hucking it at them, especially if it's something combustible like a fucking fire extinguisher, it just one-hit KOs them. So you see someone with a shield and you're like, oh, hell yeah, let me just put my gun away.
Let me pull this chunk of wall out and...
Boom!
So, you feel in control.
Yes. Dude. Entirely. Except you don't. I don't trust anyone I've talked to. Jesus, sorry. Spiked the mic. I don't trust anyone I've talked to except for the janitor. He seems like an alright dude. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
A lot.
I still need to get into
I have
it.
one small question, and this was something I did not bring up when I talked about it.
Yeah.
Are you playing with subtitles?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're seeing the weird, like, the weird cutscenes with the director kind of involved in them, you're seeing like that pyramid.
Yeah.
And you're like the whispering.
Yeah.
You can see that you have subtitles for those cutscenes.
Yes.
So what you can't really understand with the whispering, you can see clear as day, right?
I'm probably not paying close enough attention then because I'm not as...
No, it's interesting. And like, I don't know, this is like a slight spoiler, but like when you're being like whispered to and from like that pyramid thing, the subtitles, it does like 2 different words with like a slash in the middle. Like there's like multiple.
I am seeing it. Yeah.
I think there's multiple meanings, and that's something I don't think you get unless you have subtitles on, which is cool. I think.
Yeah. Only because you could
Because like you can kind of make out what it's saying, but you can't. And then the subtitles, like they're
implying that you're not really being fed the whole story.
yeah, it's really well done, and it feeds into all the documents you're getting with all the classified
all
stuff,
the
marked
redacted,
out.
blacked out stuff, and yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm curious to see. I mean, some of the stuff from just the beginning of the game, like you you learn very quickly, like Jesse, the main character, Jesse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talks to you, the player, as if you're a part of her in a way, or at least I'm putting myself in that situation. Like she kind of knows that she's being controlled by an outside entity, and that you learn very quickly about her past, and she's very open about that with you, obviously, because she feels you're a part of her, but she's kind of quick to share that with other people in the game, which I wouldn't have. Your sentence is silver, but silence is gold. Keep that shit shut. She's out there like, I think I can trust her. I'm like, no, you better not. You bet. And then there she goes, telling her the whole backstory. It's like, but those things, right? Like, I'm not going to say specifics, but that I feel like I'm kind of drawn in to see, why is she actually in the oldest house? Like, why is she here? Why was she suddenly made the director? What are all those things? Like, it's got its hooks in me in that way. Very much so. Like, thanks to Control, watching a lot of X-Files again and being back in that world, you're just all that weird shit where you just want to know all the weird. You want to read the X-Files.
Yeah,
you want to. It's good.
I get it.
It's very good.
I like those vibes.
Yeah,
it's good vibes.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Tracer in there at some point as well. Yeah, that brings us to another subject. 3 rounds, 3 plays of the game back to back. Who wants to fucking touch me? I said, who wants to fucking touch me? I got 3 plays of the game back to you were there. You witnessed it.
Oh. I thought you meant you just played 3 rounds back to back and then you were done.
No. No. I fucking... Come on. That was...
As Tracer?
No. Farrah.
Oh.
I've been fucking shit up as
I like
Farrah.
her. She's really... I like her a lot. I like her her one like white Anubis outfit.
I got the black Anubis outfit because, But, no, it's just been that thing where every once in a while, Matt will send me a message and just like, Overwatch? I'm like, yep, when I can.
Cool.
And then we did it yesterday before people came over, and I didn't expect to do that well, but we just fucking crushed it. And I got to play the game each time.
Hey, congrats.
They weren't always good.
I brought him down. I was going to say, because there was always one. He would hang off like a ledge, but one of his shots would hit the ledge in front of him.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like that too. Man, rockets are a bitch.
Yeah. Well, there was one play of the game I had that was like, I should not have had play of the game.
That was really bad.
It was real bad. It must have been that, because I got 2 kills in it, it must have been that just those 2 kills were like maybe what set off a chain of the other team not being able to catch up or something.
I don't know.
It wasn't a good play. But the one had a whole team wipe. The other, like, I had some good
whenever you do
shit.
like Justice from Above, it feels so good once you get like bling, bling, bling.
Yep.
It's just,
Yeah, she's fucking, I like her a lot.
Yeah.
And you've been trying out some different shit.
Yeah, I have. I queued a little bit as a tank one night. I'm trying to nail Zarya, the pink hair girl, right?
Yeah.
Trying to nail her
She's
down.
good.
She's got
She's
like
really
if you
good.
time those shields perfectly, the amount of damage you can deal back to people is unreal. So I'm like trying to figure out like what characters to put them on at what times. Try to get those timings down. I played the hamster for 5 minutes and that was a fucking train wreck. So we're never going to do that again.
I want to play him. I never had to.
It's so hard.
It's real weird.
But then, like, I've been playing a lot of sticking with the support cast, but I've been branching out the support cast. The only one I really don't play is the Moira. Yeah. The one with the orbs.
She's pretty good too.
Yeah, she's cool. But you picked up Anna pretty quickly.
Yeah, still trying to master that, but like I feel pretty good staying on the back line with Anna and using her grenade, which I messed up. I forgot there was an offensive like debuff to it.
I forget who Anna is.
The sniper that heals.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Can I get a heal? Heal over here, please. I need a heal. I need a heal. Can I get a heal? I need a heal.
That's usually why I play as
Need a heal?
a
Can I
soldier.
get a heal?
So I'm like, I got it. I just heal myself and just fuck off. Whatever.
No, there was this little kid we were playing with who like every 2 minutes would just fucking push to talk and just, I need a heal.
Because that's like a whole meme with like Genji. He always like, I need healing.
Yeah. No, this was
No, it was like
real
push to
life
talk.
child.
Oh God.
Playing
and then Matt and
Roadhog.
I are in Discord, and I'm just saying it to Matt.
Was he
every
playing
couple
Roadhog?
minutes. I don't know. I don't even know.
Which he should. I mean, he shouldn't ask for healing.
Yeah, motherfucker, just move away.
Yeah, you have your own thing.
Fucker.
I think my most time in a character is Junkrat.
That makes sense. That's on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on brand.
Just the physics of just launching myself everywhere and just like throwing traps.
Bob.
Well, he's the closest to a crazy taxi character, I think, and that makes sense for Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. That checks out.
It was like him, Farah, Soldier, and I wanted to be good with McCree, but I'm not. Really wanted to be. Actually,
So instead, you went with Reaper.
No. No.
I'm
terrible with Reaper.
We played this fucking week. We were playing one night, and I was so mad. There was a fucking kid playing Reaper whose username was Edgelord, and he kept fucking killing me. It was the most infuriating.
Oh, that sucks.
And it was no number. It was just fucking Edgelord.
Reinhardt's fun too.
The shield, big giant shield. Dude.
Yep, got it.
Jethammer, man. You just fucking run into somebody and then take them off a cliff.
I played him that was another character I played for 30 seconds. I was like, oh god, this is bad. I'm not, no.
I'm usually him when we need to move the payload.
Yeah.
Just complete shield mode. Just all right. Let's do this.
Speaking of going off cliff, there's I think it's Italy, or I don't know which fucking stage it is, but there's like I think it's Italy, yeah, because there's the gondolas going by. And there's this like little water river, and I don't know what I'm fucking doing half the time still. Like, I'm still under 20 hours in this game, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I'm like just over 20.
Farah's got one of her secondary abilities. She shoots a thing, it hits, and it just kind of like pushes people away from that. So I do it, not really thinking about what I'm doing, but I shoot it at somebody who's right next to the river, and it throws them into the river, and they die. And I'm laughing so hard as I'm hovering above them that I forget that she has a fucking limit to how long she can hover, and my jetpack goes out, and I fall into the fucking river.
Do you hold it in even as you're falling?
Because
if you do it, it does like a little...
Yeah, it'll do that, yeah.
And then your thing charges up, and it boosts.
Yeah, I had already used the shift boot. It was, it was no good.
Yeah.
And I was laughing too hard. I just fucking hit the ground. Like, well, I'm dead, but it felt cool.
Yeah, on the other end, like, I'm not even near the scenario where this is happening, and I hear him cackle, and then, oh no, I'm dead.
Heal, please.
What
else you play, Matt?
I was going to say, I think with support, I don't know if it's just coincidence, but I feel like when I get a read of the game and what we need and I shift, we win.
Yeah.
Like, I knew...
You were good at, like, leading a charge in that game and kind of making sure that everybody's...
My favorite
where they're supposed to be.
We used to do this thing. It was, whenever I'd play with Charlie, we'd be in that, that one, Egypt-ass town level.
Yeah. Egypt.
Is it just Egypt?
I think so.
All right.
Egypt-ass town. Egypt, you know.
I didn't have had like a weird name.
I can't remember if it has a specific city.
But if you're defending
in that center,
in that first part, so they're all coming out of the ship and you're ready. I would always be what's her face? The robot centaur thing.
Osiris.
Robot centaur.
She has like the green horns and the Gatling gun.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
Why can't I think of her name?
Is it a tank?
I think so.
I think it's Osiris.
Is it Osiris?
I think. Does she have like a shield she can project out?
It's like a half dome.
Yeah, I think it's Osiris.
Okay. But I would be her, and then I think Charlie would be
Osira.
Oh, that was close.
He's the dwarf.
Torbjorn,
yeah. And he would set up that turret. So constantly, I'm like giving myself the gold coated skin or whatever, putting that shield, and just that turret just going to town. Such a good combination. That's like the most probably support I'll probably ever be. 'Cause I'm bad at support.
Me too. I did it to get a loot box and just
tank, DPS.
I mean, we got it, Mark. I mean, you got to just
look out. Overwatch League season, whatever the fuck. We're coming.
You guys are playing on PC.
We are.
Damn it. I mean, that's where it's at though. For that,
I
do have on PS4.
I do have it on PS4.
And it's coming to Switch.
I'm not going to Switch.
All right.
But you have
to restart again.
We could play in a park. We got a what?
We have to restart a level again.
I know we're like knocking on the fucking door of being able to play ranked finally, but let's have to start it all.
Which I want to do that again.
Yeah, no.
I already did it once. I'd have to start over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Halloween event's coming up, right? Junkrats, whatever. I mean, Junkenstein.
Yeah. Well,
You change it up usually.
Oh,
I think
do
last year it was Junkenstein. They'll do something.
either way.
Yeah.
I'm looking for new skin.
And then one last thing with the hitting people out of bounds. That's why people play Lucio, because they do that little bump.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you do it well, there's that control, like that capture point one with like the giant well in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you stand across it, Roadhog.
Yeah, that's
Let 'em
what
drop.
everybody will try to do. That's fucking everybody. It's
Yep.
great.
With Lucio, I remember the one time we talked about Overwatch on this podcast a long time ago, and Ben talked about how he didn't like the game at all, and we asked who he played, and he said he played Lucio, that old rollerblading boy. So now whenever I see a Lucio go by, I'm like, oh, Ben's coming around the corner. We got a Ben up here. I forget that he's called Lucio.
Basically, if you like Titanfall, Lucio is your character.
He doesn't deal damage though. That's a misconception. He's support.
Yeah.
He's not.
No, but you could just. But if you're good at gliding on the walls, man,
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
you're golden. Nobody will touch you.
I was doing that in a skirmish one day. You just saw me skating around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah. It's like, are you playing as Ben?
So yeah, I guess time to talk
Go on.
Call of Duty.
Speaking of games we played together,
COD.
Modern Warfare.
And not the one from X amount of years ago.
Not Call of Duty 4 : Modern Warfare. This is Call of Duty : Modern
Man, they're really good
Warfare.
at titles.
Yeah.
Man.
I get it from a
I don't.
well, Modern Warfare sells. The name sells, and then also conceptually what they want to do with the story is talk like their point of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was 12 years ago, so it was Modern Warfare for 2007. Whatever year it was, right? 2007.
Yeah.
I thought it was, yeah.
Seems right.
Modern Warfare has changed.
Right.
So let's talk about today. Which it seems like story-wise, there's going to be an emphasis on like how war affects civilians, some stuff like that. Who's right, who's wrong, walking along those lines. Campaign seems to suggest that there might be some stuff like not anywhere near, but scratching that door of no Russian, of just like toying with your mental state and making you kind of ask, is what I'm doing right? Those types of questions that, seem very contradictive in the face of a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar franchise. You know what I mean? Like that weird divide. But that's not what this weekend is. That's to come whenever the game launches later this year. But right now it's over now. A beta. So there's one last weekend for PS4, and now it's for everybody, and crossplay is enabled this time. So we played on Xbox. We were sitting on the couch passing the controller back and forth till like 4 a.m. And then we played today. You were on PC and I was on Xbox because I couldn't get the right drivers to play the fucking game.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I gave up.
But it works.
Yeah,
Crossplay works.
we did it.
And it's nice on. So as far as like controller and keyboard and mouse on PC, and I guess if you plugged in a keyboard and mouse, which you'd be able to for on console for this game, before you queue into matchmaking, it makes you pick which one you're committing to. So that way it knows how to queue. So you can't just queue into a game and then switch or something like that. Like once
it'll just put you in a game that also people are using that.
It's going to try to.
Okay.
It will prioritize. So I knew when he was fucking around with his computer, I hopped into a couple games, mouse and keyboard. I noticed I got a mix of controllers because the game is very detailed once you get into that lobby of saying like, all right, he's on Xbox and he's playing with the controller. This dude's on a PC and he's got mouse and keyboard, or he's on PC and controller.
Yeah.
So I was able to see a mix of that. But then I knew he was going to play with a controller. I didn't want to put him against mouse and keyboard, so I just flipped my setting, grabbed my PS4 controller, and we got all controller. It was pretty straightforward. Your thoughts as someone you don't play Call of Duty often?
No, but it felt good to play Call of Duty. I don't know why. it felt good, but it also felt weird. Like it felt like a beta, which is weird for these types of games. Like normally when they do a beta, it's not really a beta. It's just a fucking demo. They just don't call it a demo.
I wonder if it's like something with the sound design that like makes it addictive. But like whenever like you get that hit and it's just a little X pops up and it's just a
Yeah.
and it's like, oh,
It's a good-
and the points come up like, oh, more,
It's
more, please.
That good thwip.
Yeah.
So there is a sound setting for that.
Yeah.
It was like modern, legacy, or off. So I don't know. I was playing with the modern one. I don't know if they changed that sound effect from like the past Modern Warfare games. So I wonder if you'd be able to go back to the old. I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
But it was just like little things like that I noticed in the settings, and then that weird mouse legacy setting that I came across that you can switch
That
on.
sounds like shit.
That-
You want to describe
so
that?
I don't even remember this specific detail, but it was like you can only control the mouse would only change the viewpoint horizontally or something like that, and then if you moved your mouse up and back, it would move your actual character, and I think you would use W and S to look up and down.
You're
What?
like doing this to walk.
Yeah, it seemed I immediately like
Did
made
we
sure
used
that
to
was not
play
on.
like that?
I don't know.
No, I don't think humans did. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a weird thing.
Oh.
But back to the game.
We kept getting kind of thrown. It was only a few maps, and I felt like we were really in that one predominantly for most of the time. But yeah, I mean, I played Black Ops I last year. Not a ton, but a good chunk, and that was my first time playing anything since like Modern Warfare 2, maybe. And I felt a little more in control this time than I did last time. Like last time, playing some of the multiplayer, it was Call of Duty all over again for me. Just take a step, I'm dead. Take a step, I'm dead. And this time I was like, ooh, you know, like getting some kills. You have the occasional match where like I'm just getting mowed.
Yeah.
People camping, people really good at the game because you know they play this game where I fucking don't know how to spell controller, and I don't.
I mean, I've dabbled in a bunch of the Call of Duty games, at least a little bit, but there was a weird heaviness right away that the Black Ops games, which are the ones I probably play the most, at least recently, don't have. I did not play World War II, so I think that heaviness kind of came from there as well. Yeah. But like the gunplay felt nice. Like trying to think here, like it was just nice, like just running and not having to worry about like going on a wall or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just
okay,
straightforward.
Yeah.
You got your 3 perks. You got a primary and a secondary, and with certain perks you could do 2 primaries. Like no bullshit. You got your primary grenade or your primary slot, and then your secondary slot for like your concussion grenades, stun grenades.
And a lot of that was very accessible as opposed to even Black Ops last year was like. As someone who was stepping back into it for the first time, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Black Ops adopted that point system, where like if you could technically run without like a weapon if you really wanted to, and you could put your points into like grenades or something like that.
Okay.
It was like the 11-point system or something like that, which is fine. It lets you like really get creative with some of your loadouts, but just it's nice to kind of come back to basics, especially if you're rebranding this game. I think it was a good move to just. Remember what Modern Warfare was? This is your.
And it felt like that. Like it felt like what I remember. Like me on my fucking Christmas break, winter break from my first year of college, sneaking into my brother's room and stealing his Xbox while he was sleeping, so I could plug it in and play with my friends. You know, until inevitably I bought an Xbox of my own, so I could do the same shit. Because that was the thing. Like we would go to. All my friends went to a different college, but we were all still local and commuted. So we would meet up after class and get Taco Bell, and then we would all go to one dude's house, just hang out until 3 a.m, and then inevitably go home and whatever. But usually going home at like 3 or 4 a.m, it wasn't going home to go to bed and go to class. It was going home to then sign on and play Modern Warfare until our eyes were bleeding, and then
it's that good stuff.
You sleep for an hour or two, and you go to class, and you're late, and you're like, why the fuck am I even here? I should have just stayed home and played the game. But it felt like that again. You know what I mean? It was
cool.
close to that.
Yeah, like the most I've done was Modern Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
And then a lot of that, actually, that's probably the most I played out of a Call of Duty series. And then bit of 2, and like 2 kind of just wore me out. I just wasn't in it anymore. Just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah, there's definitely something like, I mean, it's successful for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
you know,
it has things that are staples, and it's nice knowing that it's still
you should download
preserving that.
You've still got time. Listeners, sorry, it's already over, but you've still got time. You got, I think it runs through Sunday.
Yeah, September 23rd, I think. So.
Does it end September 23rd?
I just saw the on BattleNet. It say like September 23rd. I don't know what that meant. I don't know a time specifically.
You remember? I was listening to that when I was brushing my teeth today.
So there was a couple things though that right away, like we saw some of the maps, and that desert map. I was like, oh, I feel like this might be that map from Modern Warfare 2. And then he turned the corner, ended up not being it, but I could see the DNA of a map from Modern Warfare 2. And then we did this train station one. It was like a power plant kind of worn down, and there was like a train yard on one side of it.
Yeah, it feels very...
It was a Battlefield 3 or 4 map that I've played.
Yeah, so we were playing it, and a lot of the stuff you kept noticing. Just update, by the way. September 23rd at 1 p.m. So actually, if you're listening right now, first thing in the morning, go ahead and take a day off work and play the rest of the beta for a few more hours. But yeah, we were playing in a lot of stuff Matt was calling out, and he was like, this is Battlefield. This is... Because I never played a lot of Battlefield, but I just knew stuff. I remember Ben was super into Bad Company 2 and like all the vehicle stuff, and this was like motherfuckers jumping into helicopters and ATVs, and it was, yeah.
So,
yeah, the 32.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that next. So, you know, the maps kind of feel familiar, but I guess like at some point you're going to have to start rehashing some designs because I don't know what else you can do with all the amount of games you have put out in the past. And then, you know, you also have Battlefield competing against you with like there are certain games where also like Modern Warfare-esque as far in terms of their gunplay and tech and stuff like that. Yeah. But new mode. So I don't think they're going to have a battle royale in this. It seems like they're going to stick with Black Ops I for that. Mm-hmm. They are trying to take on that Battlefield crowd though. They're up in their server count to 64 players for this mode. I think it was called Ground War.
Sure. Sounds right.
Something like that. 32v32, and right away it was a fucking game of Conquest in Battlefield.
Well, and it's interesting because Battlefield 5 did not do what it intended to do. Like, I don't think that game is like
in terms of like sales,
like sales and just. I mean, I don't think it even hit the note that people wanted it to hit. So for this to step in and kind of take a little bit of that makes sense.
And then, but they don't do it all the way, right?
Yeah.
Battlefield's so good with its design to that. So like there's classes, almost like kind of like an Overwatch in a way.
Yeah.
Like you have your classes that you roll out as, right? You have like a healer, like a medic class. You have like a recon class, which is like your sniper. An engineer for like your vehicles, and then you got your regular like soldier dude. If you like kind of squad up appropriately, you can make like all four and have like this perfect team and coordinate. And then like something the Call of Duty game I know did it like it has that squad thing, and you can spawn in your squad just like you can in Battlefield. But if I was a medic in Battlefield, I could just throw healing kits, and there are games where I get more points for healing people than I do for actually dealing damage to someone to the people I killed. In Call of Duty, there's none of that. So when you're just getting mowed down all the time as soon as you spawn, because like the maps expanded out a little bit, but the core map it didn't get bigger in the middle. It just got bigger on the ends. So all those like choke holes and trench points, if you just run out, you're gonna get mowed down immediately. And there are times that happens in Battlefield, but like if you can like change your class and get points another way, or try to help your team another way, this is like a point. It's like a beta of what the first Battlefield probably was. Yeah, in a way. But
you can see kind of where they're going with it. Probably
they need to add that way of like a class-based thing, and that sense of progression. Because like when we played that game at headquarters. right? Like, you may not have been doing good, but whenever you capture their control point, like, you just get points. Like,
Right.
I remember, like, back in the day with Modern Warfare games, like, Headquarters was, like, the game mode to get your points, so that way you can get your prestige and start over or whatever. And I just feel like with Team Deathmatch and all the other ones, like, you're kind of constantly getting points just because how fast the game is, and you get up and die, but you die and get right back up and start shooting someone.
Yeah.
But in this, the pacing of the match felt off. The two that we played, it's not quite there yet. And then they have a night mode as well.
That sucked.
This is just a reskin. That had so much potential because it's the map but dark. So you're using night vision the entire time, which changes things. Like, you can see the red dot, like if you had a laser for like a ADS aim improvement, like you can see the laser from afar because of night vision, right? What they needed to do is
give you the toggle.
Yeah, mess with the lighting so that way when you go into a house, like it's like a flash grenade and you make it turn off. Like, play with the lighting a little bit to make it dynamic.
On permanently. And the problem with that, with everything being green, is you start to not be able to see above your teammates' heads because the blue of them being on your team blends in with the green, and it's like, wait, are they?
Yeah.
Like.
And friendly fire is not a thing, but if you shoot, if you pop up,
right?
That's
a bad thing.
That was a waste. That was a waste of the opportunity.
So good theory, poor execution.
The toggle and mess with the lighting. Another like two fixes.
And I wonder if you notice on that main menu, like the other two modes were the like highlight. There's I forget what it said next to it, but there was like a fucking gold star on the other ones. Like, and the night one was like, it was almost like, oh, and this is here too. Like I think that'll get developed and fleshed out. But I would like to see that have a little more
toggle.
Yeah.
Sam Fisher had a toggle.
Yeah.
Just fuck with the lighting, man. That wasted an opportunity.
Yeah.
But Call of Duty seems to be back, and I know it's nice knowing that there's going to be a campaign.
Yeah.
And Modern Warfare was consistently the best campaign of the series. I still think that Black Ops 1 had the best one. But consistency, the Modern Warfare trilogy was pretty good. That third one was like but the first two were bangers.
And that's out October 25th. Jason Lee's on the cover, seemingly. Well, that's good.
And PC. Sorry, I had issues on PC. I kept soft locking.
Yeah.
And I had to restart my computer. So some optimization issues, I think, there. Yeah. But the console ran fine, right? It ran fine last night.
I never had a problem. You have to make an Activision account if you don't already have one in order to enable crossplay. So I did that, took a couple minutes, got it up and running, but I was able to add Matt's Activision account on my Xbox from his PC, and we were right in the menu. I could look at my Activision friends and my Xbox friends when I was on my Xbox.
And then if you're on PC, I saw Activision and Battle.net.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
It does.
And you can. I assume you could just party up all together across platform. Like that. That's pretty cool. Like that seems like the future we need to be moving toward.
Yep.
You know. With like we talked about with Overwatch, like it would be so nice if we could just all play Overwatch together on whatever the fuck we have.
Yeah, I would be more inclined to play then.
You know, and same thing. Like I've been playing a bunch of the DC universe, right? And it's like but I don't want to go jump to. Yeah.
And just one other, I guess, little small plug for NVIDIA, but they've moved on from that deal for Control and Wolfenstein now that both games are out. Their new deal is if you get an RTX card, it comes with Modern Warfare because it supports ray tracing. So.
Got it.
You can also get it that way if you needed to.
Makes sense. Well, the other thing I played this week, I am really, really excited about, called Session. New game by Creature Studios developers, ex-Skate developers, making their new skateboarding game. I think this is probably better than what Skate 4 would actually be, I think. Because if you start to think about Skate 4, I think we've joked about it on this podcast before, like, decks or microtransact. Like, we just started thinking about what would EA do with a Skate 4, and I'm sure Skate 4 will happen. But with Session, I don't need it to. So this is available now, early access, $20. When I say early access, I mean V0.0.0.1A. Early access.
Like, you gotta be mentally ready for, like, this isn't...
And
Like-
day
like-
one, it
like there's
was
issues.
it was a little rough. Like
Yeah.
day one, within the first hour, the game crashed on me like 5 or 6 times. Just boom, back to fucking desktop with an error and whatever. But the second day, like 3 in the afternoon, patch hit. I haven't had a crash since. The first day I was also having trouble doing reverts. You're supposed to be able to double tap the trigger to do a revert. Nothing would happen. That's kind of weird. But again, early, but with it being early, I really, really like this game. So to kind of the general description of this, remember how you played Tony Hawk and Tony Hawk is Tony Hawk?
Mm.
And then you played Skate for the first time. And you're like, this is weird. This feels weird.
Yeah.
When you play Session for the first time, even weirder. And I played the demo they had put out, like a Kickstarter backer or whatever a while back.
Mm.
Which I didn't back the Kickstarter, but they like made that demo available for everybody at some point or something. And it was weird. I don't think I quite liked it when I was playing that version of it.
Yeah, I remember dabbling in a bit of that too.
It just felt off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this feels different than that did, or if maybe I was just more open-minded to the controls. But the way it works, your right stick is your right foot, your left stick is your left foot. So if you want to right stick, right foot, left stick, left foot, then your triggers, your R2, L2, or whatever, it's left trigger turns left, right trigger turns right. So leaning on the board is pulling those triggers. You want to ollie, you're going to pull down on your right stick and then push up on your left stick as you let go of the right stick. Make sense? It sounds weird, especially when you know Tony Hawk and then you know Skate.
Right. It's trying to be more. It's trying to translate your foot movements.
And it
More
totally
accurately with the
works.
controller,
It totally works. So the cool thing about it too, they've built this like neighborhood in New York that you're skating through, and like all the stuff that you're going through, you can tell that what the developers wanted was for you to be in a city first and a skate park second, but also lean into that idea that as a skateboarder, the world can be a skate park. So it's not as like you're in some of the, especially the later Tony Hawk games, well, the early ones were so arcadey, right? But the ones where they got a little more open world, where you're just like watching street lines bend down to the ground in a way that street lines don't and also you're not going to skate on a street line. All of the stuff in this, it's like, it feels like a city. It feels like you're just dropped into a city that just happens to have things you can skateboard on, which is just like skating in real life. So it feels super organic in that way. And getting good at the game in this is the closest I've felt to getting good at real skateboarding. Like you just constantly fail and fall trying to do this thing. The difference here is that, you know, you're not hurting yourself or like you're not getting any physical scars.
Breaking bones.
Yeah, you don't have to grow out a beard to hide out like a weird thing on your chin, you know? It's but you like you just keep doing that, and then you eventually get this like little moment of triumph where all of a sudden something clicks for you. And the first time that you actually like connect a grind that you were intending to do is just like such a good feeling. Because there was plenty where I was like, oh, cool. But like the one where you're like, I am going to kickflip onto this weird little piece of concrete, and I'm going to do a nose slide till the end of it, and I'm going to do a heel flip out. And when you can fucking do that, it feels like doing it in real life, because it's the way that your hands have to move. Like you deliberately have to think about it. And there's an option in the menu that you can go in and turn on grinds that are a little more, I forget what they call it, like simplified grinds or something like that. But they encourage, they're like, yeah, you might snap to the rail easier, but it's not going to represent real life and what real physics would be. Because literally, like, if you approach a thing and you don't move, so if you let's say you're going to try and do a tail slide onto a rail that you're approaching front side meaning like the rail is up against your stomach chest. You're going up to it. If you ollie, if you want to do a tail slide, you need to then push your right stick left so that you turn the board and hit the ledge with the tail of the skateboard. And in doing so, like you need to make sure that you're at the right height, that you're at the right pitch. Like you need to do all of that as you would on a skateboard. One wrong move, you do it a hair too early, well then you're going to clip the fucking ledge with the side of your skateboard and you're going to eat shit.
And you're going to virtually break bones.
Yeah, well, your character does this stupid ragdoll that just
I love
Oh,
that.
well, at least they brought that skate tech
That's
over.
so good. They also brought over the skate tech of being able to hit Y and jump off your fucking board and run anywhere you want.
There we
It's
go.
So good.
There we go. How about the Thor hammer?
Your skateboard's always with you. It never. It's like just kind of.
So you can't.
So far, no. No hand signs. No.
Doesn't sound like that great of a game.
Ah.
Some say it's that Skate 3's greatest feature. It's not actually skating. It's running around the track.
Running around throwing up hand signs.
Oh, Matt, you can't have Dream without EA.
But no, I mean, like, if you approach a rail wrong and you get your trucks hung up on it, like, see you later. Like, not gonna work.
Yeah.
But genuinely, like, I've not felt like this since, like, Ben and I used to go skateboarding at fucking Hollywood Video. Like, there was this old closed down Hollywood Video, and that's what we like just text each other. Yo, you want to go to Hollywood? You go there. Someone pulls a candle out of their trunk so you can wax up the fucking curb from the closed down bank, and you just sit there all night. And, like,
That's awesome.
it just
though.
took me back to that in, like, this real feeling of, like, attempt failure, and then that little hint of success where, like, wait, I can do this. And you just, oh my God, it was the closest feeling to that I've had in 10 years. And one day, I don't remember what day it was, there was an accident on my commute. And what was really cool is I merge onto the highway I've got to get on, and everything seems it's always kind of slow right there at that merge point, but it was like a little extra slow. And I was like, all right, hold on. Let's see what's going on. Pull up maps on my phone. Accident. The accident is right at the next exit that I have to take. So there's no exits in between the two. So I'm literally just trapped. So my commute was just a 3-hour fun drive home. So I got home at 8:00, and I came in, didn't cook, just ate leftovers that night. We were like, let's just do that. And like that thing where you get home from something like that, where you don't think it's that bad because you're in it, and you get home and you're like, all right, whatever, it's fucking done. But really, like, most of the time you had to pee, and you were like fighting with your brain, like, do I just get out and go pee on the side of the road? And then eventually traffic starts to give a little bit, and you're like, just wait till I get. After all that, you get home and you don't realize how exhausted you are, but you are. And being able to just fuck off and just skate around, go into the menu and change the daylight time so that it adjusts my real world reality daylight time, and sit there in the fucking dark skating in the streets, also muting the fucking music because the music in that game is like Raul Coley from iZombie just freestyling, which is real weird. It's like this. It's not really him, but it just sounds like his accent. But it's like this, like, at the first song, Katie was sitting next to me when I first booted the game, and the first song is this, like, posh ass British sounding dude, and it starts off with just some, like, typical rap, like, beat, but like that lo-fi, like, 90s rap beat, like good Tony Hawk style stuff. But it's this guy going, I do what the fuck I like. I'm gonna do what the fuck I like. So now every time I play the game, Katie walks by and she goes, I do what the fuck I like. And I'm like, So I turned to that. Out of the few songs I let play over the couple hours I put in, they weren't all that bad, but it was just stuff that I was like,
they're gonna grow.
Yeah.
They'll grow on you.
I was like, you know what I can do? I can fucking turn off the music, open up an iTunes playlist called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and listen to that instead. So being able to do that, like, after a 3-hour commute and being dead inside, it felt like when I used to come home from school and just be like, cool, I'm going to go up the street and skateboard for fucking 6 hours.
What they should do,
That's
and
cool.
it would be like a little, like, homage to, like, GTA, like San Andreas. Just let you, like, let you import your own music and then, like, have it as, like, a fucking cassette player kind of, like, toggle.
I wonder if they'll get there. You know what I mean? Like, because it seems like they want to build this game to be the perfect, like, skateboarding, but, like, also, like, approaching it as skateboarders themselves, because this does feel so much like that. Like, the only difference is I don't have a CD player skipping songs in my fucking big giant pocket.
Well, I mean, you got to get that anti-skip. You know?
Dude, even with the anti-skip,
I know it's true.
Didn't matter.
You stress test it.
You do.
Like, you punch it.
You do.
And you're like, well, because if you fall, it's just like, oh,
Oh, sorry. Oh,
it was,
I woke
hey,
up
look,
demons.
watch, there's a table like that. See, that's all we did. We just punch the table.
I aggroed the dog. Sorry.
That's it.
you skipped them. Their anti-skip isn't.
But yeah, dude, I really like that game, and it's not like. It's not feature complete. It's not all the way there. You have 2 character models that neither of them look that inspiring. Like, there's a lot of work to be done, but it feels to me like
That's the easy part. if you can nail this core gameplay, make it retraining your brain again.
Yeah.
And just build around that.
And that's the cool thing is like I think the part I talked about it before, but I don't know if I emphasized it enough, like how cool that city feels, because it feels like a genuine pocket of a city where like this morning, woke up, made coffee, and we were going to try and squeeze in a little bit of that Modern Warfare before we recorded. And before you jumped on, I was like, well, I'm going to skate, right? Like, and it just,
I'm going to skate. And
but
then walk up to my iMac.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like to me. I was like, I'm going to go skate. And I go jump in, and I was like, so they have daily challenges, weekly challenges that pop up. And one of the daily challenges today was to do 16 grinds out front of the police station. And I was like, oh, where's the police station? Like, I know I've passed it, but I'm like trying to remember, like, is it past the parking lot? Like, you just kind of start to identify these little sections of the world. And I don't know, like, I've got my little spots. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over by that fucking gray building because they've got a cool rail there that I can practice my blunt slides on. It's like fucking cool. I haven't been able to nail a blunt slide yet. Can't even get into the animation. I don't know if you can. It's in there. It's in the like trick menu, but it's just a good skateboarding game. And it feels like the thing, like how they've been signing off a lot of their development community or developer communication is like, have a great session or something like that. And it's like it's back in that thing where you feel like you're going skating. Like you just,
that's cool.
I mean,
it's capturing a feeling that you've experienced for real, and it's just to have it translated so nicely for you, and just have it to like bridging that connection.
Yeah, I just like on its own as it is now, like I could play this forever, and I know it's just gonna get better. Like right now you can go into the menu and turn on the experimental options, which gives you grab tricks, which they're not fully in there yet. It's just kind of they're getting there. But
would you still feel the same way about this game had you not grown up with skating?
Oh, that's hard. Probably not. Like this is.
Like, would it be harder to recommend?
I think if you've only ever like been into skate culture through Tony Hawk or skate or anything like that, I think this is still there. Yeah. But it's stripped down to the bare essentials. So it's not going to be like skate where you've got Eric Costin waving at you to come over and he's going to tell you to do a kickflip over this thing. Like there's stuff like that, right? There are challenges. It's like, hey, like right now the weekly challenge is to do a fakie varial heel. I think I forget what the exact thing is. 243 times. Wow. So what I've noticed, and like, it's cool. Like the other day I was just like cruising along to head somewhere. I was just like, I'm going to go find like a big bank or something to go on. And I did a trick and like hit the trigger, just not thinking about it. And my character spun and I was like, oh my God, of course you can fucking do this. So now as I'm just cruising along, I'm constantly like doing tricks and pulling the trigger to do a quick 180 as I'm skating along. So I'm constantly like bouncing in, and it's just something idle I can do now from skating from point to point is knowing that weekly challenge is there. It's getting me better. Like the first time I tried whatever trick they want you to do, I ate shit. I didn't know what I was doing. My fingers were all fucked up, just like in real life where you don't know where to put your feet really, and you don't really know what you're doing. And you do it to the point where, dude, I mean, I can't tell you how many nights I spent next to the fucking snowball stand with Ben and JP and our old friends, just like watching someone try over and over to do an impossible. And you're like, dude, you're not going to fucking get it. And then when they get it, you're like, you fucking did it.
We got to change the name now. It's possible.
And then like for the next 2 weeks, all they do is that one trick. And like, that is what this is. You finally nail something. You just do it.
Muscle memory.
So I think in that regard, like I don't know. I think you could still like it, but part of why I think I appreciate it so much is that like sense of realism brought to it. That's giving me that feeling again of accomplishment. But I think that feeling of accomplishment is inherent. Like I think that you could also jump in and do it. Like if you go to the Steam discussion page, because I've been like, this is the first time I've actually spent some time in the Steam discussion pages. Other than like normally if I go there, I'm like looking up like, is this fucked up for me too? But like now I'm like kind of reading people's thoughts and developer responses, and it's very divisive. Like a lot of people are really turned off by the control scheme, by some of the other stuff about it, and like
it takes time to get to adapt to that stuff, and people just have a hard time with it.
And I get it, right? If you came from Skate and thinking this is Skate 4, you're gonna go into it and it feels weird because that's exactly how I felt about that first demo. Yeah. But I don't know what it was going into this with a different approach. I was just like, oh, this feels so good. Best moment so far. So the one cool thing that they have going is there's 5 minutes of footage always being recorded. So it's just always perpetually going. And the editing stuff on that is a little wonky, and like you're supposed to be able to go back to your apartment and view that stuff. I haven't been able to, like, you go to a TV and you hit view replays that you've saved, and I know I've saved a replay, but it's not there. So there's some of that stuff that's still getting worked out, but I have been able to go to my computer and it's there where you're supposed to be able to look at your montages. So I guess montages versus replays, like I don't know which is which or whatever, but whatever. I have a clip saved that I found this little spot. Most of it's just like trash and whatever. There's not a lot in this little area. It's like a big circle pad that leads like it feels like a library. I don't know if it's a library or not, but there's like a 24 staircase that's just super long, not high, but long. And there's this long rail that kind of like goes alongside it. And it's a handrail that's like kind of, it has like a turn to it, not like a curve, but just like a hard angle. It's a hard rail to hit. And I just sat one night for like an hour, Tony Hawk music blaring, fucking over and over, just trying to, I forget what I was trying to do. I was just trying to connect and do 50-50 down it. Couldn't get the 50-50 clean, but I got a crooked grind. And eventually, after a while, I fucking made it all the way down this rail. Like the kick flip up, the 50 or the crook down, and then the fucking heel flip out, and it just nailed it. And it just, I immediately like threw my controller down, hands in the air, and you feel that sense of like, I fucking did it. And I'm like, did you guys see it? Like, no one's near me. But I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta jump in. I'm like trying to figure out, because I was gonna export it and send it to you guys, but I don't know how to fucking export it. I don't know where it saved these fucking videos. But I was like, I did it. I fucking did it. It's got that thing to it that just feels so good to play. And that's it. Like my idle time now is like, just, I'm gonna go skate.
Got the bond, man.
Oh my God.
Living the dream.
And then, of course, it's got me looking at fucking skateboards again. So I've had my skateboard in my trunk for a while, but you know, there's
nothing wrong with that.
Whenever I go grocery shopping, there's the one.
You just go through the aisles with a skateboard,
dude.
Skip bags.
No, they don't take kindly to that. But no, there's a closed down Sears near one of the grocery stores I'll go to every once in a while, and it's nice because I can go in and break the glass. No. But the parking lot's completely empty and like all the fucking things. So I just go there and cruise around in the parking lot. It's just still feels good, but you definitely feel it a little bit more on your knees when you're 30 than you did when you were 15. And Session doesn't have that, which is cool.
Get some new knees, man.
Yeah, get some new Session. $20 early access. That game seems like it's gonna go somewhere. I was telling Ben about it, and he seemed pretty excited. And honestly, it feels to me the way that people talked about PUBG, that first bit where they're like, this is weird. This is, it crashes. It's weird. But when it works, and honestly, since that first day, I've had no crashes. I think it looks good too. The graphical fidelity is pretty high. The city seems like a real city. There's detail in the like stones and things you skate by. It's a really, really good game.
It sounds like a lot of potential.
I like it. And then that's also coming out October on Game Pass for Xbox. So if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass and you don't feel like spending $20 on PC,
like officially out, or is it like an early?
It'll be early access Game Pass.
Kind of like how Hunt was.
Yep.
I mean, Hunt wasn't Game Pass though, but
yeah, Hunt you had to pay for it. This will be on Game Pass because I was playing or reading through the dev notes of that first patch, and they said like we're doing this, and know that we're also optimizing blah 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 because we're also getting it ready for Game Pass next month. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool.
I'll check it out. Yeah,
for sure. We're gonna take a break and go skateboard for a little bit. And when we come back, we got some news and some emails to get through in this already extended episode. We'll be right back. What a week for some news from video games. We're going to kick things off this week with a little announcement by Nintendo that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe North American Open, starting on September 22nd, gets you some Nintendo Gold points, Matt, for the eShop.
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool.
Actually, that's a decent reward system they have there.
Yeah, not bad.
Direct money towards your games. Not bad.
So registration ends. This is, I think this might be one of those things.
Yep. What?
Where you've got to sign up through their third-party thing. Is that what it is?
No clue.
Or do you just jump in?
Are you saying like
for the tournament?
Is run through Smash.gg? Is that where you're?
Oh, it's not. No, you literally they give you a code to punch into the actual game itself. And then the contest runs. Oh, never mind. It's over. For people listening.
They'll come back. They always come back.
Yeah. It's only a one-day tournament? Well, there was a tournament yesterday in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I do bring this up, though, because this goes back to something that, what was the last, Kimishima talked about before he had turned over the reins of Nintendo's presidency to the current leader, but that existing software could be expounded upon by adding more DLC, more ongoing things. No, but like you see this with Smash where they have these regular things. Tetris 99 has regular events, and now this was a surprise because like sure you got a Mario Kart mobile game launching, right? But
I was gonna say Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Right, they continue to have stuff.
They added the whole thing to it.
Yeah, like years later.
And no one
asked for.
Yeah.
No one needed to scan me going to that game, but yet I got my Splatoon stuff. Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out next spring is going to feature a classic battle mode, letting you go turn by turn. It was announced at TGS.
Dude, I'm at the point now. I think I'm getting closer to Matt levels here of like the more I see it, the more I'm like super hyped for it. Like it just looks so fucking good, and it looks better every time I see more of it.
God, what if one 10-minute presentation changed everything?
Yeah.
And then the end of that, the last 10 minutes of that presentation changed everything. So there's a lot of like tapping seems to be in the standard mode with this. The classic is not like just turn-based. It's still going to have the action RPG stuff to it. I just don't think you're tapping as much. I think you're worried more about your gauge, your
It was from what I read, it was that the ATB's filling rather than it being literally active.
And then you're more concerned about that meter and what to do with it than having to match square and worrying about it. I think it was like a day later they followed, or maybe same day. I saw another article or they added like an addendum kind of to this, saying that like it's not gonna make the like if you want that classic battle system, this is not it. It's just another kind of battle. It's another type of action RPG battle system. So yeah,
kind of makes me think of more of like Dragon Quest. Like recently, because I tried a bit of that 11 demo. But not enough. Yeah. So I didn't really count it. But yeah, but it's like you can move around. It doesn't really do much. Yeah. But like you can still move around and like actively and still like wait for, your turn to attack and whatnot.
If you were looking for another icon for your desktop, Rockstar's got you covered with the new Rockstar Launcher, featuring all of Rockstar's games. Bully's on there, Grand Theft Auto 5's on there, San Andreas is on there for free. Free San Andreas?
I already own the trilogy on Steam.
Shit, here we go again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shit, here we go again. Another goddamn fucking launcher.
Here's my question.
Where's the rocket launcher?
Serious time. Are they putting the launcher on PC? Because it's finally time. They've been gearing up, getting this Red Dead Online up and running in its beta form. Is it time that Red Dead makes it over to the personal computer? And is this how you do it? It seems like all the games that are on here you can already get on Steam, like Marc said. But is this where they go, we got you to install the launcher. We gave you San Andreas for free to attract you into having the launcher. Now that you got it, you might as well buy Red Dead through it, right? Because you can only get it there.
I don't know why I already assumed it was on PC.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
That's weird.
They might pull what Bethesda did, right, with Fallout 4. It came to Steam later, didn't it?
I don't remember. One of them is exclusive to that, and
I don't think I put it in the news, but that got me thinking because I think you're onto something. Because there was another thing with Red Dead Online people have been experiencing. They've been finding zombies.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And free cheese for me.
Yeah.
Or maybe I've said it on here way back, but
Yeah.
like my perfect zombie game was Undead Nightmares, but with Red Dead's multiplayer online. Because it was just constant. I was like, just have an Undead Nightmare version. That's Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse, never ending, and just fight waves whenever. It was so fucking good. And like I even had a letter written. I was like, Rockstar, please do it.
And now,
do it.
10 years later, they listen to old Marc.
Yeah, and watch it just be like, oh, it's just for October.
Yeah, that's
probably what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Junkenstein's move into Red Dead.
Yeah.
So wait, if I heard that correctly, Matt just said we should perpetuate October, right? Extend fall. Always, right? Is that what you were just getting at?
No, I just said
fall should be year round.
It's going to be an October.
Let's bring all of these events. Let's make them year round. Halloween's every day. Every day is Christmas.
I don't mind Halloween. I like Halloween.
Cold weather always.
No, that's the thing.
You heard it here first, folks. Matt wants it to blizzard.
No,
always.
God, no.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Speaking of shutting things down, the ESA's got some plans for E3 2020 that GameDaily.biz took a hold of. If you have not seen this, folks, you should head over to GameDaily.biz and just look through this for yourself. But the ESA, after, of course, some weird stuff this year with E3, not only in, attendance being a little bit weird and not a lot for attendees to do, also that thing where they had an Excel spreadsheet hidden in the source code of the website that was easily accessible by everybody that had every attendee's first, last name, phone number, and email address, and home address. Anyway, so in the wake of that, E3's trying to rebrand, which, to be frank, let's hold on. For us, I don't think E3 has changed much. We still watch the conferences. You know what I mean? We still see what we're going to see. Yeah, they do them a little bit differently now, and
yeah, it's every 8 days, have 2 days.
Right. But for us at home and not in attendance at the show, not a ton has changed. Yes, it has changed. I'm not trying to underscore that, but not a lot. At the show, however, just from hearing from people who have been at the show, listening to different podcasts and hearing different things, that show is very different now. They've let the public in there, and also now that anyone can make announcements whenever they want, E3 is a different beast. So to combat that, the ESA is trying to create new experiences for people in attendance. To be frank, there were people who spent hundreds of dollars for these tickets to go there and play a game that's already out. People that were standing in line to play the upcoming expansion to fucking Final Fantasy 14 when it was out 2 weeks after E3. And when asked, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Or people who just, I want to go play Luigi's Mansion. I'm going to go stand in line for this all day and then not get in. So that there's those types of things where you spend all this money and it's just what do you do? And the other side of it was, for the public, it's a 3-day event. And by the middle of the second day, you've seen everything you wanted to see or could physically see. So what do you do on that third day? And I heard that the third day was kind of vacant. Don't worry, Matt. ESA's got you covered. The lobbying group says it hopes to create, quote, exclusive appointment-only activations for select attendees who will create buzz and FOMO. Looking to pay celebrities to join, to make appearances. For example, why don't we get some basketball players to play the latest basketball video game and have people watch?
I have an idea. You're just going to put all these computers in a room, right? You're going to have EA come out with a new Battlefield game, okay?
All right, I'm listening.
And then you're going to invite celebrities.
Like?
A Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Okay. Who else?
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay. I'm almost there.
Who else?
Zac Efron.
Okay.
There it is.
And then, got me.
And then, who came in?
Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
And make sure that he has his fresh weed.
Yep.
The Mary Jane.
I think what you mean is Secret Weapon.
the
bomb.
secret weapon.
The bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then capture Snoop Dogg with a joint in his mouth. That's how you bring the experience to the viewer, like us, who are not there. That's how we 2020.
Well, what the ESA has planned instead is to promote the power of social good.
Zac
Basically,
Efron's social good.
ESA is trying to bank some social cred for when some bad shit happens and people go to the ESA and say, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because like with all of the loot box stuff, right, where that kind of blew up and started to become a thing where like Washington started looking at it, which seemed like a real bad idea to let those fucking idiots start to figure any of this shit out. Had the ESA stepped in as the governing body of some of this stuff, it could have said something or done something about loot boxes a while ago, but didn't. But don't worry, because now they're going to build some social cred because, Matt, research shows that millennials and Gen Z are the most, quote, giving back, quote, social good generations ever. And by amplifying E3's social good brand, we can advance the industry's brand with consumers while storing positive chits for future use. E.g., policy goals, next negative video game story. So basically saying, if something bad happens, gets blamed on video games, they can say, no, video games aren't bad. Look at this. We got Jamie Foxx smoking weed with a basketball. Everything, you remember that? They literally say in here, imagine a NBA champion global superstar participating in an E3 Coliseum conversation and or global movie star being part of the E3 digital ticket because it included social good components. One tactic we can implement is partnering with influencers, celebrities, athletes, YouTube personalities who are passionate about E3 relevant social good efforts like gender equality and STEM. I don't know what STEM has anything to do.
I don't know.
How do I control
STEM is a relevant social good effort.
I don't know. Fucking awareness for coding, I guess.
I get it, but like, why are they just the weird
they're
shit
saying
that they're
all this
chasing
shit,
after?
and then remember, I think it was after Ubi's conference. They cut to their Siege celebrity thing, and yeah, a little Yachty the entire time dropping the N-word.
Oh my god!
And it's like, what? This is not.
Yeah, no.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's fucking.
They want to create a new floor experience where there will be a center stage, which could be the E3 Coliseum. That is a multi-use experience to bring unique, high-energy experiences over the course of the show. Basically, giving people who are in attendance something to look at. Also talked about advertising to people who are in line. So you can invite advertisers, you can invite people to come in and create line experiences.
No, pop-up ads.
So can you imagine spending $400 for these fucking tickets, flying out there, and then going there, and then you're trapped waiting to play the fucking new Rocksteady's Green Lantern Corps game coming out next fall, and you got some dickhead talking to you about Dr. Scholl's for 15 minutes?
I think I'd rather hear about Dr. Scholl's in this Green Lantern game.
Come on.
It doesn't exist.
Yes, Matt, you got to do what?
It needs to lean more into what.
Where's Mother 3 at?
It's coming.
It needs to lean more into what Sea of Thieves did. People are waiting in line to play that game. You know what they had? A fucking live band playing sea shanties.
Yeah, that's how you. Well, they might actually do some shit like that.
They won't.
Yeah, then at least you got that. At least you had something good during that experience, because you
gonna
all know playing the game at launch was not the experience. Just sailing to do nothing.
Don't talk about Wind Waker like no. Okay.
So, just to make you a little bit more mad, they plan on calling advertisements happening in line queutainment. You know, while you're waiting in the queue, you can be entertained by some shit that you don't want to be talked to about. Yeah.
Hurts standing in line, doesn't it? Well, with Dr. Scholl's.
Exactly. You can make the time pass. With Dr.
Next year is the last year for E3.
Don't say that.
I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. I think that more than ever, I think they'll start to get people to go there because they're going to turn it into a thing where people will want to go to see fucking whatever. Like this, I think this starts to, and so the other piece they talked about that was kind of nice, at least it sounded like for people who have to do a job there, is that making Tuesday a media day and then making the other days public, but making it a press-only event for the first little bit, and seemingly putting, like, it used to be that people would have to take events on the show floor at a booth, where now all of that stuff is going to happen upstairs in conference rooms, and downstairs on the main floor would be more for all this, the public stuff, which at that point it just starts to seem like any old convention for any old folks. And I don't know. Because Microsoft already left, right? Like, they don't do the press conferences in the E3 space. They do their press conferences at the Microsoft Theater that they fucking bought. So Microsoft's going to be back and doing their thing. But again, like, they can fucking click a button and stream to Mixer and Twitch and this and that. Like, it's all done.
None of it sounds good. It just...
Yeah, no.
Mm-mm. Like, I'm getting vibes of the evolution of G4.
Where it just,
It was about video games, and it slowly teetered out into becoming more of just, like, not as much that. This is where the whole, like, I forgot who took over. I mean, I know they sold it to Comcast or whatever, but, like, they were trying to turn it into, like, Esquire, then it became Style or something. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to really exactly hit that, but it's starting to lean into that territory.
I mean, it's got to change to stay relevant and stay alive. It's just...
hey, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Well,
but
I think it is, right? And I think the other side of it, too, is, like...
Dude, like, 2004, shit was not broken.
But...
For us at home.
But time has also changed that, right? Like, so much... Like, 2004, Konami still had a press conference. You know what I mean? Like... All these companies, Nintendo still had a press conference, but Nintendo got to the point where it's like they can fucking put a direct up and then just have a show floor space and be done. And now, like, you could argue the show floor space doesn't really do that much. Like, there are stuff that comes out of E3 where people talk about, oh yeah, I played Luigi's Mansion. Look at this, we set up this thing. But Nintendo could probably spend the same money to tour around a couple of key cities, put that same Luigi's Mansion experience up like the thing we went to for the Switch launch, and get, you know what I mean, get the same buzz while putting out a, like, coordinated direct.
It sounds good in theory, but yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Like, as a show, E3's got to do some stuff, and I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah. If you want to, I really encourage, if you want to see, like, how gross corporate things can be, go check out that whole pitch deck. GameDaily.biz. Matt, you like to talk shit. As a matter of fact, I noticed a lot while Matt and I were playing the Call of Duty that the kill cam for Matt often showed his camera moving up and down very quickly following the execution of another player. But Matt, did you know that low behavior score of yours could end up banning you from Dota 2 until 2038?
2038.
Yeah, that's
that might not be a bad thing for me, but...
Valve has been changing the way that players receive bans or what do you call it?
Bans?
Reprimand. I'm trying to think of a different word for it, right? But yeah, the over the last week, there's been some new changes to that stuff, and certain players have been banned to the extent of January 2038, the maximum amount of time able to be inputted into the system by the game programmers.
I mean, my conduct score is great, so I don't have to worry about it. I mean, they got to do something, because far too often, especially like when I was going through the Turbo games, for the jungle in the battle pass, the other, like, someone would just leave randomly, whether it was on my team or another team, and of course it's going to put you at a severe disadvantage. But then also, you take all that time to queue into a game. If you leave first thing, the game doesn't even count for the stats, even if you saw it through. So you just wasted like 10 minutes getting into this game and starting just for this guy to leave. Now, of course, they'll get, it pops up saying they're going to get some kind of a penalty or whatever, but the penalty is to get rid of them for forever, essentially. Then so be it. And people and I've seen the scum too.
Yeah,
it's fucking terrible.
But apparently, you can also just change your date to January 2039 and keep playing. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
there's someone said that worked. I'm sure the Valve has cracked down on that, but yeah.
Somebody send Rossetti to him.
Yeah. We'll do 2 more quick little hits,
Oh,
and
praise
then and then we'll move into our emails before we wrap up today. This Tuesday, the 24th, PlayStation will have State of Play 3. This is the third one.
Yes.
With look at The Last of Us 2 and maybe definitely some other stuff, but we don't know really what yet. What you guys thinking? PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2?
No.
No? All right.
Oh, man.
I wish.
Well, we sure did try.
Yeah.
That's all right. Crash Bandicoot's going to come to Smash, and everything will be all right.
Smash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Ghost. I'm assuming you will see
Ghost of Tsushima?
something to remind you that's being made.
That'd be nice.
It's been a while since they talked about it.
I mean, everything else they've been showing off for the past 5 years has come out now, so.
Yeah, Concrete Genie finally hit, or is...
Days Gone is out now.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's out. God of War's out.
They can tease something.
Yeah.
I mean, you always do DLC off those games or whatever. And then, of course,
Mm.
third party. Those State of Plays have been really indie focused,
Yeah.
too. Trying to come back. They seem to get away a little bit from that mid PS4 life, but I think they're trying to lean back into it a little bit more.
Yeah, when they didn't need the indies anymore, they let them go over to the Switch.
Yeah.
Now they kind of need them, so they're calling them back. Yes. All right, our last news story comes from a blog post on BioWare.com. I don't know if you guys remember, but in February this year, a game called Anthem came out. I'm going to read a quote from the very end of this blog post that should kind of sum up the blog post. This comes from Chad, head of live service at BioWare. Quote, "So I don't have any news today to share about the long-term changes we are bringing to Anthem. What I can say is that we will continue to engage with you, our community, through private test server when we can show you what is coming. Stronger together!" End quote. They talked about some things that changed. They changed some user experience stuff. They changed some combat balances. That Cataclysm event that was supposed to be like a couple weeks after the game didn't happen until later and is still going on. And apparently they still are making stuff in that game, but I don't know. The other week I wanted to fuck around in Sims 4, so I downloaded Origin and I was like, should I get access? Turns out there was a free trial for Sims for 2 days, so I just did that and got my fill and moved on with my life. But I noticed that Anthem was now in the $5 tier and not the $14 tier. The monthly thing or whatever. They have like the super one and the basic one, and you could get Anthem in that bottom one, which they made it a big deal before. Like, if you want to play Anthem, you got to give us $15 a month. Now it was like, oh yeah, whatever. Give us $5 or just nothing. Just fucking take it. So I don't know. It seems weird.
Wow, what a disaster.
Do you think that can come back?
No.
Just let it die.
Hold on. I hear what you're both saying. I'm going to say 3 words. No Man's Sky.
I'll also let that die.
Apparently that made a big turnaround.
No.
We don't give a shit about it.
There were people that still played that game.
There's people playing Anthem, believe it or not.
There's still people
so
that play Fallout 76.
Exactly.
But Fallout has a swagger to it. This is a new IP.
Yeah.
Fallout is not great anymore, but going into 76, it had swagger.
That's not the word I'd
And
use.
you knew they were gonna do something. They weren't gonna let that thing die.
Sure.
They weren't. Yeah. They were gonna put out Todd Howard on stage again and not acknowledge the fucking mess.
Man, No Man's Sky was really back and forth at first too.
Oh yeah.
Especially with the whole multiplayer thing, they were so fucking fishy
But
about that.
the other thing with No Man's Sky, that was a clever idea that really hadn't been tapped as a market yet.
True.
And it still really kind of hasn't been tapped too much as a market yet.
True.
And that's why I think it prevailed. Anthem, I can play Destiny. I can play Shadowkeep is about to come out here soon for Destiny. So, it's going to get drowned out there. Think of all the other loot shooters. Just have Borderlands 3 come out. I know that's not our cup of tea here, but that's one of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
An Iron Man suit is not going to differentiate you too much from the other games that do that already and do it well.
Yeah, no.
I don't think this is coming back around.
I think out of all of it, yeah, Anthem definitely had like just the worst.
I think this is like Artifact Dead.
Yeah.
Because I heard rumor Artifact's coming back 2020.
I think Artifact's dead.
I'll tell you, I listened to that interview with Richard Garfield.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was on a Game Informer podcast. He talked about Anthem, where it went right, where it went wrong, and he was pretty transparent about it all. It's pretty cool. The ideas they had. He'd still work with Valve in the future on other things. He's got different ideas, but he just talked about how they're going to work on that game and make it where they want to make it, and he decided, this is probably a good time to step back and just do his own thing.
Don't blame him.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the news. We're going to move into emails before we close out here. We got 2 emails this week. It's podcast@thefreecheese.com. If you want to ask us a question or share a story with us, podcast@thefreecheese.com. Just like Andrew did, who says, whatever happened to George Romero's Resident Evil? Why do you think it was scrapped? And who would be your dream writer or director for a Resident Evil movie? I dug into this a little bit because I was not familiar with George Romero's Resident Evil. And apparently, George Romero wrote a whole script for it. I think you can read the script online somewhere.
He did a commercial.
For Resident Evil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, it's about what you expect.
What I read in my findings was that the script was not good. From one of the Capcom producers said the script wasn't very good, so they went a different direction with Paul W.S. Anderson, and then, of course, we know the Resident Evil movies we got, but...
yeah, that's, I mean, that's believable, for sure. I mean, obviously, it's not hard to believe, because, I mean, yeah, like, I respect Romero's earlier work, but as it kept going on, it just kept getting worse.
But
then at the same time, it's like, what the fuck do you expect? Like, they're zombie movies. You can only do fucking so much with it. It's
like when we got the Wii music and everyone's like, Miyamoto. And it's like, well, dude, he gave you fucking Donkey Kong and Zelda. Yeah. What else do you want him to do? Let the man make a fucking violin game. But, I don't know.
Also, Romero, I mean, he's done zombie movies and stuff, but Resident Evil, I mean, it's a zombie genre, but there's always that twist of, like, corporate bullshit in the background. And you have to like be clever on how you write that in.
I mean,
but Night of the Living Dead had so much about like that movie was not just about zombies, right? Like there's so much more you can.
Zombies being in the mall, that was a social satire.
Yeah.
Of us as consumers.
Yeah.
And like Day of the Dead was probably the closest to a Resident Evil we'd probably get, but they started to evolve the zombie because he could talk and start to think a little bit, and so he could have a gun. It's like, oh shit.
Right.
But then after that, just.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It's like the story wasn't as interesting anymore. It was just campy, just for a reason for the zombies to exist.
Right.
It wasn't a center point anymore. Yeah.
Also, you think Romero's tapping source material for that? I don't think.
No, I mean that's why. Yeah, that was just some dumb money contract. He was like, I don't know what the fuck video games are, and like, there's this.
You have a dream director or writer for Resident Evil?
Anyone but Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
How
about Uwe Boll?
Oh my God.
You said anyone
it'd be
but.
interesting.
I'm sure.
I would watch it.
It's interesting as a
I've watched his stuff.
What zombie movie did he do?
House of the Dead.
Yeah. That fucking montage scene, so good.
That was the trailer. That was the only good scene. That was like clips of gameplay spliced in there.
I know, it's so good.
But the thing about Bull is that he has balls, right?
Yeah.
Like he would challenge people to a boxing match if they wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
And then if he lost, he would stop making movies. He never lost.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I think isn't Resident Evil happening on Netflix? Isn't that?
That sounds right.
Yeah, but who would you want to direct?
Who would I want it to?
I'm trying to think of a director I want.
I would want. Shit, what's his name? Fucker. Not fucker. Lovely Man. Who did 20 Days Later?
Oh, Danny Boyle.
Yes.
Yeah. Danny Boyle's Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Huh.
Either that or
Martin Scorsese.
that would be
a weird fucking movie.
That would be something.
Leonardo DiCaprio would be Leon.
I mean, that's not too far from the inspiration. I'm pretty sure he was the inspiration for Leon.
That makes sense.
Man, like for some weird reason, I want to say Sylvester Stallone.
Directing it?
He is a director. But like I never seen him do much with horror.
Yeah.
But dude knows his gore. I don't know if you've seen any like the one Rambo movie from like 2005 or something or 7. Like tore people in half with a minigun.
Okay.
It's pretty good. And then there's that Rambo coming out later. But like I don't know. I like. I mean, Expendables is one thing, you know. But like it seems like, especially if it's like old Resident Evil, like 1 through 3 or like Code Veronica, like they have that cheesiness to it, you know.
That he could.
Like, there's heart, there's some cheesiness. I think Stallone is able to tap into those fields. I think he's good at capturing characters with his Rocky franchise. They're really good at being heartfelt. He can do crazy action. He can do like he has a wide range. He just doesn't really tap into it a lot because of the action. But it's like, hey, I mean, he could do Resident Evil 6 probably. Or something.
How?
I mean, I guess it depends. You know, do you want your original title? Do you want it based off a game? If I want it based off a game, I want one based off of 7.
Ooh.
And then if I want a director for that one, wouldn't be Stallone.
Who would it be?
Shit, what's his name? I'm bad with names. Is it who did Hereditary?
Ari.
Oh, yeah.
Ari Aster?
That sounds right.
I think that's right.
Ari Aster.
Yeah.
I could see that. That leans into where I was thinking. Robert Eggers, dude who did The Witch and the upcoming Lighthouse. Give him Resident Evil. See what kind of weird shit you get. A lot of attention to detail with that one. Ari Aster would make a good one too. That would be.
And then if it's but if it's TV series format, actually, or a movie. You know what? Sorry, I just keep throwing out names. Vince Gilligan.
Oh yeah. See his name a lot in the X-Files. He's a writer on that show, producer or something. Yeah.
I was looking through popular movie directors, and I found a lot of weird, shit that could be like. Could you imagine Clint Eastwood doing
that'd be
just weird stuff? J.J. Abrams, a lot of your fucking his fucking lighting trick. What's it
lens
called?
flare?
Yeah, lens flare.
Yeah. Perfect official answer for me. Final answer. Robert Rodriguez.
Oh yeah,
that's not a
that
bad
is
pick.
actually probably perfect.
Dude, after Planet Terror.
Dude, after fucking Spy Kids.
I mean,
Spy Kids is just Resident Evil for kids. I mean, come on.
It's fair.
so movie directors off the top of my head, you guys know more than I do. So I was thinking of franchises that were like dead or in need of a revival.
Undead.
So Halloween came to mind.
Sure.
Why not maybe David Gordon Green?
Give it to him and Danny McBride. Let him get wild with it.
'Cause
they brought Halloween back.
It wasn't bad.
It was pretty good.
It wasn't bad at all. And there was a couple good shots in there. They handled, because Halloween and its gore, they're not usually mixed together. They handled that delicately. I don't know, just do something weird.
Yeah,
When we heard Danny McBride and David Gordon Green were doing this movie, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
so do something weird with it.
Gareth Evans.
Oh yeah. He was did Attack the Block.
The Raid.
Yeah. Attack the Block. Did you see Attack the Block, Matt?
Mm-mm.
That's a Matt movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or Ridley Scott.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't come out until 2049.
Yeah, and it probably wouldn't be great.
That's okay. He can give him the movie. You can give him System Shock. He can do that.
There you go.
That'll take its time.
Does Frankie Muniz play Leon?
Frankie Muniz. No, he plays Chris Redfield.
All right, that's perfect.
I was gonna say he plays Nemesis, but
He's punching boulders, man.
but it's no makeup. It's just Frankie Muniz.
Do you think we could get Frankie Muniz on this show?
But probably.
I know he's busy.
At what?
Is he?
Yeah,
He's tweeting about smart cars.
He
Dude
tweets
ain't
about
busy.
smart cars.
Yeah, he's busy selling his car. That's why.
50-minute pizzas, and I know he's doing his olive oil business, but I bet you.
I mean, it's hard to find the address of his RV, but I'm sure he could locate it.
No, but I think if you reached out genuinely and we said, "Yo, Frankie, big fan, got your name on a T-shirt I'm wearing right now," coincidentally,
Wrote a whole fan fiction.
got a whole fan fiction about you. Do you want to come out on a Saturday's afternoon, record a podcast with us, talk about video games?
Go get some Taco Bell afterwards.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine walking into Taco Bell with Frankie Muniz?
Bet you he doesn't. I bet you use a different name like you all do.
Hell yeah, he does.
Cody, right?
Yeah.
And then he's just going to respond with yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Yep. That.
Can you repeat the question? And you're like, no, because I fucking typed it.
Bazinga.
Sorry I asked. All right, our last question of the week. I miss demo discs. I would beg my parents to buy a magazine just to get the demo disc inside, even when I didn't care about the games. I know they don't make sense these days, but what do you think of the lost age of demo discs? Greg. Thanks, Greg.
I missed the hell out of them. Always like getting a game and having a nice surprise if it was launched like a demo disc thing before. Like I know like my Fighting Force copy had some demos in it.
They're not entirely dead.
No?
The demo disc.
No.
What?
PlayStation VR had one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
That's the most recent one I can think of.
Yeah.
But that's like bundled in. It's not like
And then before that, Xbox Magazine.
Yeah, they were still doing it for quite a while.
Like for 360.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't work in your Xbox Slim console or discless one. So
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean that was a lovely novelty though. PlayStation. I mean,
but
obviously.
now you pay for your demos. Called
yeah,
early access.
right. Like you pay for a demo, or
it's just in the store page and bloop, demo.
Yeah.
You can download it. But I don't think a lot of demos then you could transfer your progress, right?
No.
So you had to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which that's the nice thing about modern times is like most demos now allow you to transfer progress.
Like,
over.
hey, you want to play Final Fantasy VIII demo? Cool. You want to play Final Fantasy VIII into that part again?
Cool, because you get to do it again. The worst was when you'd play through the beginning of a game in a demo and then get the actual game and you're playing through the exact same thing over again because progress didn't
Pocket
change.
Now,
card
well,
jockey.
I know this is getting away from like the demo disc,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
do you think a game or a publisher will do the Crackdown thing again, or the Zone of the Enders, that thing again, where like they have this star fucking marquee game and you get the demo of it, but only if you buy this other
I feel
thing.
like that just happened with something.
Didn't Metal Gear do that?
Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
Was there a Metal Gear 5 demo in something?
Maybe?
Didn't they do that with the Zone of Enders like re-release or something? They did. This is fucking 7 years ago or whatever, but the ZOE HD collection had Metal Gear Rising Revengeance demo in it.
Oh.
Which that was kind of clever.
Yeah, because old ZOE had Metal Gear 2.
Yeah. I think there was a more modern example of that though, where something had something I don't remember. But yeah, like that
would be cool to kind of branch that more, you know, like utilize that more, especially if it's like under the same publisher and it's like, oh, here's a little sample of, blah, you know.
Well, I liked like with this is again not skirting the question, but getting threads of it. The Smash on Wii U.
I was about to bring that up.
Where they had like all the virtual console games built into it to give you a taste, and they were only like limited demo. Like you only played for like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But it was like, want to know where this character came from? Here they came. Like I think that celebration of character's legacy and history is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because demo discs can't really exist anymore. It just doesn't.
I'll say my favorite one.
Yeah. What's
Dot Hack.
Dot Hack?
Dot Hack for PS2. Very very first one. I forget the subtitle for it.
I remember you brought this game up once on a podcast.
Yep.
And I didn't know what it was. And then we were in the retro game shop looking at games, and I went, "Oh, okay, I got it. That makes total Mark sense."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of those genre of games where it's like everything takes place in an MMO, but it's a single player action RPG. And it really utilizes this demo long as heck. Like I want to say it was definitely like more than 3 hours. And you could just go around grinding forever if you wanted. But like it felt like the full game pretty much.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
I'm not sure if I ever got to the end of it, but like it was just like in this nice little envelope, PS2 label on it, artwork, boom. I was like, it's so strange. I just don't expect something like that. It's weird for like a heavy, really in-depth RPG to like have it. Like how do you demo? How do you digest the game? And to them, it's like, oh, well, I mean, over an hour, that's small. That's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me? I'm used to like 5 minutes or like a runtime. Like those dumb demos already time you.
That's like, and then it was like, thanks for playing.
Or like when you had the DS or Wii demos, to like you only have a certain number of
30
plays.
tries.
It's
Yeah.
like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So the disc wins in that department because you
Yeah.
just keep booting this shit up. Yeah, but yeah, we're more and more digital with it. So I mean, if anything, I mean demos will always be around, but
I don't know. Pizza Hut might have like a dumb marketing campaign 3 years from now. Like, get your demo disc or demo code, whatever, with a free or with a large pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, God.
probably be like a download code or something.
That's what. Yeah. So your demo code. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had those old Pizza Hut demo discs.
Because like, we're kind of straying away from inserting discs now, right? Like into stuff.
I'm trying to get out of that.
I mean, we're still keeping them, but like, it's slowly like kind of leaning out of that
I
way.
did put a disc in something this morning, but it was the first time in maybe this calendar year.
Because I mean, I don't think Switch will ever have demo cartridges.
No.
Though DS had a demo cartridge
for Twilight
Metroid.
Princess. Oh yeah, or Twilight Princess. They never did the demo. They had the trailer on there that they gave out to people at E3.
Yeah.
Back before it was meant for a social good construct event.
STEM.
Yes.
Just say STEM.
So what was the question exactly? Like, is it dead? Is that what?
What do you think of the lost age of demo discs? I think we kind of answered it, right? Like,
I
love it.
I know. I know
we're
I'm about to plug another site here, but like, Giant Bomb Premium. Relive it with their demo derby.
Yeah, that's a cool series they do.
They vary the cast. It's usually Jeff Grossman and with others.
I think it started with Dan because Dan just had all these demo discs from Pizza Hut and shit.
Yeah. And then they've been running through these demo discs and it's a regular thing.
Yeah,
it's a good way of experiencing like what the fuck a demo disc was.
Yeah, it's just some weird and the weird stuff they'd put on in a demo disc, like the stuff that Tiger Woods one, where it's just like Tiger Woods fucking pretending to golf in a library while people cheer him on because he couldn't. They were trying to do mocap for him to do his swings, but like they had to actually like he couldn't get his natural like celebration pose without the real reaction of the crowds. He like felt inauthentic. He couldn't like get into the moment. He's not an actor, right? He's a fucking golfer.
Yeah.
So they had to like sit there and like all quietly in a library, like cheer him on. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, so then all the like the weird hidden like cheat codes, unlock bullshit.
Yeah, that's strange. Like when you buy the game, put this code in, you'll get fucking rockets for feet. Like,
it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
See all the it's funny like there was a couple crash videos that showed our boy from PlayStation working on Crash. Sad Jim Carrey.
Oh, Mark Cerny, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Cerny.
That there was one recently, old Kazurai talking about PlayStation. Yeah, it's cool. Well, thank you for your emails, Greg and Andrew. It's podcast at thefreecheese.com if you want to be immortalized into an episode of the Free Cheese Podcast. We will more than likely be back in another week with another one of these episodes. I would say so. We've done 318 of them at this point. I don't see why we couldn't do it 19th. 319th.
You're asking for too much now.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
That's it,
I
folks.
might not make it. I
Pack
probably
it
won't
in.
make it.
Pack it in. What are you guys playing this week? What's on the docket?
Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And some untitled game, maybe.
Ah.
Honk honk.
Honk, honk indeed.
I don't know what that is. We'll talk after we stop. I think I'm going to try to finish Alan Wake if I'm staying in the mood for it. I will leave a game untitled that I'm going to play some this week. Nothing new. Definitely old. But,
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
That's Matt's jam.
that is my jam. No, not that. It's on Game Pass.
Minecraft.
Oh, shit. All right.
Wait, Game Pass for PC or Xbox? Both. Oh, shit. Minecraft. No.
Oh, wait. No, I know what it is. Because Matt and I played it last night. For a dumb. All right. Yep.
You're playing it too.
I know I am. I went back to Astral Chain after last week saying I was done with Astral Chain because I saw how close I was to the end. And then Matt was here when I got to the final boss. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm like fighting. And I was like, fuck, what am I? And I had Matt look it up. And I was like, is this it? And he was like, yeah, this is it. I was like, all right. And he was like, look. He's reading through all the attacks that are going to happen from the final boss. Like, all right, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. If this happens, dodge out of the way. Just do this. Because I had no recovery items, no anything, and I didn't want to reload from whatever. I was like, can I survive this? He's telling me all this shit, and I'm beating the fuck out of the final boss as its health is chipping down, and it's not moving, not doing any of the stuff that Matt says he's going to do, except for the fact when Matt said, when you get to about a third of the health left, he transforms, and then you've got to fight a different thing. So I get to about the third of the health. The camera pans as if to illustrate a transformation, but it just fucking locks in the corner of the room. I don't see my character anymore. I don't see half of the UI anymore. I don't see the boss anymore. I can't pause. I can't do nothing. Completely frozen.
Weird.
So I just quit the game. I don't think I'm going to go back to it.
Oh, no.
Because that was right at,
pain.
like, that was it. That was right at the end of it. But I'm good. Kind of, I know where that game's going. I know where, yeah, we're good.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I'm gonna play a lot more Session. I think I'm gonna keep taking away Control, but Session is just my like new obsession. Think about that. All right.
There's the title.
Yeah.
Was that coming to just Xbox Game Pass or both?
I believe just Xbox Game Pass,
That's a little disappointing.
but I can.
I can try it there at least.
Yeah. Or spend $20 on Steam. Worth it.
You were talking about all those moves and how to celebrate, and in the back of my head, I was like, dude, I can just hit X, triangle, and up, and square and over and do that line just fine in Tony Hawk.
But the way that you got to line it up and make it oh, man.
Oh, maybe some gears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So let's do this on the air. We talked about this loosely last night where Matt was really itching to play this, but I said, we can't coordinate. So let's pick a day.
That was my fault.
No. We were all, you were out, he was out, I was playing whatever. Let's pick a date right now. And if we don't play by that date together, then Matt's allowed to start it by himself. What date are we going with? Like no later than Wednesday?
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Like sometime between now and Wednesday.
I got 2 birthdays this week.
I'm just saying.
Whoa, you're special. You got 2 birthdays.
Yeah, man.
Marc was born
I was
twice.
born. You think I was just born once, like a scrub? Plebeians.
I'm just saying. Somewhere between now and Wednesday, we need to do the first mission. Otherwise, Matt gets fair game to play by himself.
Okay.
All right. And we can all play alone, but if we're gonna do the campaign together, we should do it.
All right.
Freecheese.com is a website you can go to that now has full-ass permanent dark mode to support your brand new iOS 13. Hit it up. I even fixed that annoying-ass weird white spot. Shout-outs to my coworker, Jake, who knows how to do things better than I do.
I'm like Zoolander. I can't dab to the left.
Oh God, no one can. Yeah, that's weird. There's still your.
I gotta work on that. I gotta work on my Magnum.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, enough dabbing for today. Permanent Dark Mode, thefreecheese.com. Podcast at thefreecheese.com is an email address where you can send emails. Follow us all on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at some free cheese. The Marc is at _mental. The Matt is at MattyIce131. And the me is at the Free Cheese. Happy Halloween!
What?
We'll see you in another week. Thank you, Marc. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener, for listening. We'll see you next time.